Hispanics are causing panic, baby. Let's do it.
Shout out to Hispanics causing panics.
Shout out to Hispanics causing panics.
Órale, raza! gfunkyboxing of HCP, back for another episode of HCP Uncensored. I'm joined by my co-host, D-Style Boxing. I hope you guys got a look at that hoodie right there, man, with the Keep It Boxing on the back, man.
I forgot to get something up here. Hold on. All right.
And we are also joined here by Sonteo Media. What's going on, bro?
What's happening? Good to be here.
Not much, man. You know, we're just having another week, you know, some good boxing happening, some good boxing coming up, man. So should be a good show. Since you're here, Sonteo, let's ask you first, man. You've been doing a lot of work. You've been out there at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy, man. What's that been like out there, man? What's the experience been like since, especially with the pandemic and everything, man?
It's a little tricky. You gotta know where your boundaries are at. They try to take care of their Robert's father. He kind of has like a little area that's designated for him. He's, you know, up there in age. He's probably in his mid 70s, so he's high risk. And you know, most of the people that are coming from the outside that are journalists or media, you know, we're very respectful, Ellie included. Everybody tries to wear their mask and try to give people their space. These are professional fighters. They earn a living in the ring, so we don't want to bring any germs into the gym that, you know, from the outside. So it's a pretty big gym. They've doubled in size in the last couple of years. So it depends. Sometimes they have on the new part of the gym, they have a roll-up door. And when the roll-up door is up, when the time I went there in December, I was in and out of the roll-up door just because it makes me feel better about the air circulation, and you know, and I'm always wearing my mask. But the Big G's a concern. He's not always there, but he tends to be there when Mikey's working out in the afternoons. So other than that, it's pretty open. Robert and the team, they're pretty welcoming, and they're used to having a camera in their face. So it's a pretty chill environment. They now sometimes conversations happen that they don't want recorded. You know, a lot of business side of the things, but they'll let you know. They'll say, hey, just for private reasons, we don't want this advertised and we don't want this recorded. So, you know, cameras turn off, and they don't hide it from you. They'll have the conversation right in front of you, but they don't want that recorded and put out there. So it's been an interesting experience. I think they're getting used to me. I'm getting used to them. So everybody has a different way of doing things. So I'm very respectful. I don't always try to engage in conversation when they're working out. I try to save it for in between rounds. I mean, you get 30 seconds to a minute in between rounds. You can always ask a question or two then and stuff like that. So it's an interesting experience. I've had fun.
Yeah, seems like a lot of fun going down to the gyms and you know, talking with these guys. You know, as we move forward in this pandemic, and you know, restrictions are starting to be lifted in certain places, like we just seen Texas. You know, in D-Style's neck of the woods, you know, they've lifted everything. Are you going to be going down there more often now? And you know, there's a big fight for one of those fighters out of that gym with Jose Ramirez, man. Are you going to be down there doing some footage on him or what? I'm
going to try, but they do have some concerns with the big fights. They have the capability to put like a screen in between the two gyms, in between the two. So the Big G and I were outside one day and we were having a conversation, and he said that he was talking to Robert, and although they're very welcoming and have always had an open gym to the community, there's a lot at risk with Jose's fight, Virgil's fight, Mikey's fight. So there might be times when they have to close the door. You know, you might have access to the gym where everybody's working at, but there might be times when Mikey, Jose, or Virgil are going to be in their private space. So he did mention that to me. And he said him and Robert were having that conversation earlier that day. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, man, if you can get down there, man, I definitely look forward to seeing some of those training videos, seeing if you could get an interview with him, because this is a big fight, man. Undisputed at 140, big fight. So definitely looking forward to that. I want to say what's up to some of the carnales that showed up already. Let's see. A-Rod is here. LT in the building. Chicano Prophet. Who else we got here? Big Brian is here. What's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Mad Dog H. Yeah, man, we're just hanging out, man, chilling, getting ready to cook on some topics. But you know how HC Censored is, man. You just never know what could happen. You never know what could go on. We got Roundup or round one. I'm sorry, Roundup. I've been doing some yard work all weekend, man. So I got some things on my mind. But Sante, I want to ask you, man. Me and D-Style already kind of talked about this a little bit, but Teofimo Lopez, right? His fight was ordered by the IBF with George Kambosos, the mandatory. And then the fight goes to purse bid. Now Triller steps in and bids, just over $6 million for that fight. What are your thoughts on that, man?
It's kind of funny how Bob Arum reacts to this. I've listened to a lot of people, including D-Style, on what their take is, but I'm happy. I'm happy for Teofimo. The market value went through the roof with him when he became undisputed. So I'm excited for him. It's a $6 million purse that Triller came through with. I don't think Triller's in it for the long haul, but they're in it for now. So it's interesting, and I like it. I like it because I'm pro fighter. I'm not always. Sometimes I'm pro promoter, because I know that Bob Arum has been doing this for 40 plus years, and he has the connection to ESPN. And without that connection to ESPN, we wouldn't have got all that summer series, and we wouldn't have got all those prospects, those opportunities. So I'm pro fighter, but at the same time, it depends. Sometimes I'm pro promoter. But I'm glad Teofimo got his money.
Absolutely, man. D-Style, you want to give any thoughts on that, man?
Get that bag. You know what I say. You know what I mean? Look, let's be honest, right? I would never ask a fighter to do something that I wouldn't do, right? So what I do for a living, and they offered me like 10 times more the amount, or just an example, right? Of course I'm going to take that. Like, I mean, I'll be a fool not to. So if the fight goes to purse bids, if Teofimo Lopez is telling you, hey, man, pay me more, Bob, come on, and you don't got the money, well, somebody else offer him the money, So that tells you that there is someone out there willing to pay him that amount. So get that bag, at the end of the day. I'm all for it. Get that bag. When Teofimo Lopez plays Monopoly now, he plays it with a little. Have you seen that little money bag?
Mm-hmm.
On the board. That's what he plays with now. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that's just it, man. Because let me tell you something, man. We all know everything could change in the sport. Like it sounds cliche or whatever, but everything could end in one fight. You can. And again, it goes back to like not trying to sound dramatic, but you could die in the ring. And if but of course that's the last thing we want. But if that were to happen, at the very least, you left something behind for your family. You know what I mean? So the bag is important. These guys are out there putting their lives on the line, literally. Boxing statistically is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. We've seen Dadashev pass away. We've seen fighters. It doesn't have to be pass away. It could just be comas. It could be injuries that just don't let them. Commissions don't let you fight anymore. So if you're able to get that bag, get that bag. I'll never tell a fighter, no, don't do it. You know what I mean? Now, with that said, I understand where Bob Arum's coming from. I just don't understand why Bob Arum's mad. You know what I mean? If anything, just tell Theo, hey, let's get that bag. You know what I mean? Get the bag. Get it, baby! Like, just get that thing. I gave my analogy of Hulk Hogan and what he did and what Vince would do with him. Vince knew he couldn't pay Hulk Hogan what WCW was paying him. He knew that. But what did he do? He told Hogan anyway, hey, come to my house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make them think you're negotiating with me so they could offer you more money, you know, and I'll hook you up that way, and it helps me out because the more money he's got to pay you, the less money he has to pay other wrestlers, and I could bring them over here. You know what I mean? It's come on, bro. You know, go ahead and train Triller, and then if they're done with boxing after that, guess what? Then you could renegotiate or whatever you want to do, but just do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Pro fighter all day. Get your bag.
Exactly. I want to say what's up to also Bruce Goes is here. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. And now we are also joined by another guest, Maestro Ah. What's going on, bro?
I'm good. I was ready for the Faruco level change, G Funky. Maybe a little J Balvin swag. I wasn't too sure. You know, I had to come prepared.
What's with the hate on the interest, man? I thought that shit was dope, man.
You've abandoned Vicente Fernandez and my mom's favorite, Javier Solis, for Faruco and all these other dudes. So.
Yeah. You guys are all sad now, bro. No Vicente, you know? No Portu Marti.
I left something up here that I need to grab. You know what I mean? Like,
check it out.
Just
stay right there. Stay right there. See, I put you back there. There we go. You guys can go ahead and grab those. There's D-Style will direct you to where you can get those.
Sure.
Good stuff, man.
It used to be Sombres Nada Más, but now it's that because of, I guess, all the bling, right? By J Balvin and company.
I dug it, man. Hey, Sonteo, what did you think about Canelo's entrance, man? The intro. Did you like it or what?
I didn't know who the guy was. I still don't know who the guy is, but
he's a Colombian reggaetonero.
Yeah. I figured, but Canelo picked him up in the middle, like in the post fight, and was like really endeared with him. So if that's what Canelo wants, then let him do whatever the hell he wants.
Like, you're telling me you picked a Colombian? You wanted Latino or Latina, right? You could have picked Shakira, and you gave us this, dude. Is that what you're telling me right now?
The whole vibe.
You could have had Shakira, bro. I could have been like this. Like, you know what I mean?
Man, these guys are haters, man. I dug it, man. I dug it.
In G Funkies, he said it. It's like he's no longer representing Mexicans. He's representing all Latinos. I'm guessing he's not liking all the shade he gets in the Mexican media.
Hey, I'm all for it. Get Shakira, bro.
Right?
You know what I mean? Get something like that. Like, you know. She could have like grinded behind Canelo or something.
You were asking me something before I made my little joke. What was it again?
Yeah. Now, I know you cooked on this a little bit earlier, man, but we were talking about Teofimo and his deal with Triller, man.
Yeah. Big time move for Teo. Very proud of the young man. He's being independent, and he tested the market, and he won. You know, he took a gamble on his worth, and the gamble paid off. So all credit to Teofimo. The dude that I'm not understanding his moves, honestly, is Bob Arum. It's like, on the one hand, you're bragging about the fact that you're getting a 20% cut that equals almost $800,000. And you're bragging about that. That's money that's coming off of the table, out of the mortgage, out of the college payment of a fighter or his kids. And you're bragging about that. Okay. And then the other side of the matter, he seems to be upset. D-Style, the reason I think he's upset is because there's been a paradigm shift in the sport of boxing. And the paradigm shift has gone from, you know, only the older, more established kind of veterans get to be the bosses of promoters and having the promoters working for them. And what Teo's done is he's flipped that all on its head. And now he's like, yo, it's not just the 29-year-old, 30-year-olds guys that have put in a decade plus in the sport that get to run around promoters and telling them what to do, right? It's now the 22, 23-year-olds that can do that. And if you say jump, I'm not going to ask you how high. I'm going to say, fuck you. I'm not jumping. I'll do whatever I want to do. And that's kind of, to me, what's been going on.
Hey, Chief, if I can make an announcement really quick.
Yes, sir.
I am awesome. No, it's playing, guys. I have the link to the thing right now while Uncensored is live. Coupon code Uncensored, and you get free shipping on anything you buy. So you want to get that Hispanic Causing Panic T-shirt, that shipping is absolutely free. You know what I mean? D-style T-shirt, whatever it is, it's absolutely free. It's a coupon code is Uncensored, all caps.
There we go. Got you a nice discount there, man. No shipping, you know. Mad Dog 8 says Berlanga tweeted to Balvin, hope you're on the right side. J Balvin said hashtag Team Canelo. Man, he says, I don't give a damn what you're talking about, Berlanga. I'm over here with Canelo, you know. So we're gonna have a little bit of a war going on there between the band music and the boxers, you know, which is always kind of fun, you know. But yeah, I want to just say, look, man, I think he did the right thing, man, Teofimo, by, you know, betting on himself, and it obviously paid off tremendously. He gets the biggest payday of his career, and I'm proud that he did that. I'm glad that he got that. I'm for the fighters getting money. You know, I've always been that way. Problem is, some of these guys out here, you know, they're only for it when it comes to certain guys. You know, only certain guys can get money. Only certain guys can be on pay-per-view. Only certain guys can do just whatever, you know. But we keep it consistent here, man. Now, we don't always agree, but we'll keep it consistent. Any fighter that can get extra money out of somebody or for fighting anybody, that's good because they deserve it, man. They put in a lot of work, and like D-Style said, their lives are on the line, literally, man. One punch could change everything. We've seen it happen in the past. We've seen it happen recently. So these guys deserve to get paid, man. And I'm glad he got his money, but the haters are mad. Let me tell you. You know, the thing is this. With these guys, he can't win with anything, man. If he takes the deal from Top Rank, they'll say, look, nobody cares for him. Nobody wants to see him, right? But then he goes out to purse bid, gets paid more money than he's ever gotten. And then they're like, oh, well, you could have got this, or he said this or that. And it's just garbage, man. So much garbage out here, but he got his money, and you haters can rest in piss for all I care, you know. Puerto Rican Rum is here. Thanks for joining us, man. So, I mean, yeah, Teofimo definitely pissed on the haters and stuck his middle finger out to Bob Arum and said, you don't want to pay me? Well, then I'm going to find somebody else to pay my ass. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else got any other thoughts on that?
I did want to mention one more thing. And it bothers me that I can't remember where I heard it in what interview, but I believe Al Heyman told Mikey, go get that bag from Matchroom. And that's the difference between Al Heyman and Bob Arum. It seems to me that Bob Arum is pro his company and Al Heyman is pro fighter, you know? And he said, you know what? I can't get you that 7-8 million to go find a Jesse Vargas for you. So, you know, go ahead. Just make sure you remember who looked out for you in the past, in the last 7 fights. So, you know, just know where home is. So I don't remember where I heard that or in what interview, but if I come across it, then I'd like to quote where I got that from. But I just wanted to mention that.
It's consistent with what's happened. I mean, Andy Ruiz got the bag. He crossed the line. He went over to fight Joshua. Right here at the Garden in New York, he was a PBC, still is a PBC fighter. There's a few examples of that.
All right.
Absolutely, there is. And
Hey, you want to know what's like?
Go ahead, man.
Well, I was going to say, you know what? You want to know what's funny about all this? You know what I mean? It's the very fact that it's not even like Triller took like a badass fight from Arum. You know what I mean? It's not like they took, Teofimo Lopez Loma from him or something like that. You know what I mean? Or like Lopez moved up and going to fight the winner of Taylor Ramirez, and they took that fight, and it's going to be on Triller now. Like, bro, they took the Cambozas fight. You know what I mean? It's the mandatory, dude. It's going to get them free promotion. It's you know what I mean? It's like, it's a freebie. You're going to make $800,000 for doing nothing. Like just sit back, old man, and get the money. Like, he'll be right back. Like, just be cool about it, bro. Like, what's the big deal? Like, if you think about it, like, what is Teofimo Lopez doing? Like just getting money, more money than he did for the Loma fight. Why wouldn't he take it? Like, dude, if Trilla's going to do everything for you and you're going to reap the benefits of it, just let it be. It's all I say. It's a Camboza's fight, bro. He's fighting, George Camboza's, who I like. Great, good fighter, good fight, but dude, I mean, come on. It's not that big of a deal. And I'll say it one more time. These fighters never know when the end is here, guys. And it doesn't even have to be like some ring. It could be a torn ACL. It could be a torn calf muscle. It could be anything that could put these guys away for years or gone from the sport. Their eye can get retina. Detached retina, yes, could get fucked up. I mean, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be their life, right? Mm-hmm. If you could get the bag, get the damn bag. And for anybody who's against that, ask yourself, would you really turn down a major payday like that in the industry that you work for? Would you really say that? Because if you do, then shame on you, because especially if you have a family. Really? You're going to look at your family and be like, I had to turn it down. You know what I mean? I got to be loyal to my boss, all right? Yeah, that company was going to pay me life-changing money, but, my boss told me that's all I'm worth. You wouldn't do that in your job, and what you do for a living, don't expect fighters to do the same thing. Period.
Right, man. And you got a question, D-Style, from let me go back and get it real quick. Puerto Rican Rum asked you, do you plan on making HCP shirts with Puerto Rican flag colors?
Actually, yes. I want to get as many of the Latino stuff. I'm trying to make an HCP shirt that could be for anybody. You know what I mean? For those that haven't seen, I have a new HCP logo, and I think it's sick. And I think it's the one we're going to move forward with. But we don't have to stick to one, of course. You know what I mean? But I might have like a new one every 4 months. But so I want to make one where like anyone could just wear HCP. But yes, I do want to make a Puerto Rican, because I have gotten some requests for that. Some of my Cuban brothers, want some, with Cuban colors. So I'm going to make that happen too. So I got you guys, you know what I mean? It's all work in progress and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. We got a few more guests here. JC and Outlaw are here. Outlaw says, what's up, G-Funkster and D-Style? We're just chilling, bro. Cooking.
I just want to say this real quick, G-Funky. A lot of people make shirts and they use designs that are generic, and this shit right here, I designed this shit, okay? This is me. I designed it, all right? The other CP logo, the new one you see on the thumbnails now, I designed it. I made that shit, all right? It's literally you're not going to find that design somewhere else. Like, I made them, right? Mm-hmm. This boxing with the dragon right here, this is my shit. Like, I made that, So I just want to make sure people understand these are designs that I made. These are not just generic designs. You know what I mean? Just throwing that out there.
I just realized I was on mute. I wanted to kind of respond to something you said, D. And what I see this, and it may not be an exact parallel, but like $15 an hour is not a lot of money, right? I think we can all agree that there's probably no job that you can do in this country that's not worth at least $15 an hour of somebody's time and labor. But there are billionaires going around the country doing everything they can to stop workers in this country from getting $15 an hour to do the work that they do, including in cities like New York City, in cities like LA, in cities that are very expensive to live in, right? Bob Arum is from that class of people. To him, every little bit of money matters. And the fact that Teofimo was asking for more than his minimum after beating his golden goose, Lomachenko, who I'm sure he had plans for the next 3-4 years of Lomachenko's like prime into his past prime. It's any amount of money to a capitalist, to somebody of that class, is a lot of money. So, and they will do everything they can to keep every bit of that money to themselves. So Teo stepping outside and showing that he should be making more than what Bob Arum is willing to pay, okay, is a statement. So, and it's not a statement that Bob Arum is ever going to be cool with, because again, he wants to pay as little as he possibly can to the fighters that he has under contract. That's how he maximizes his pay. That's how he keeps the bulk of what he receives from ESPN. So that's why. I mean, Teo's proven that he's worth a lot more than 1.2 million on the open market per fight.
He absolutely has. And again, people cry because guys get money. Then they make fun when guys don't get money. It's like, which one is it? You know, which one do you want to go with? Because you're all over the place with a lot of shit, you know. And the next topic, I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of that all over the place shit with what's been going on. But anybody else got anything to say on Teofimo getting his bag before we move on to the next topic? Oh, you're on mute, D-Style.
Oh, one word. Congratulations.
Absolutely. And guys, again, my email is rolling at the bottom. Anybody want to jump on, you can. But we're going to move on to an interesting topic here, man. I'm going to leave Canelo for last because I think that's going to be the best topic. But we're hearing rumblings, man. Rumblings. According to the Twitter sphere. And I believe it was Michael Benson, I believe, on Twitter.
Out of the UK.
Yeah, I think it's him. Let me double check first, man. I like to be sure before I say something, man.
Mr.
Croppinger. It was Croppinger. That's who it was. Reports that Tank Davis and Mario Barrios are in the works for this summer for the regular WBA 140-pound title. I'm going to start with my main man, Maestro. What are your first initial thoughts, man? It's not official, but what are your thoughts about that? Tank going to 140.
Well, here are my thoughts. Tank always seems to go after the lowest hanging fruit in whatever weight class he goes to. You know, it's like PBC and he's with Mayweather Promotions, right? I mean, they just like it's like he's a 7-year-old and he's got that stick and he's going at the piñata, but they don't want to make him reach real high, so they just kind of lower it for him as much as possible and let him go ham on it and get all the candy. I mean, he always goes after the lowest hanging fruit. I mean, now he's doing it at 140. It shouldn't be surprising. No disrespect to Mario Barrios, but nobody considers him one of the top guys at 140. Definitely not in terms of the champions. I mean, you got guys who are not champions, with all due respect to him, that I think would beat him. Guys like, obviously, Regis Prograis, just to give you the one of them, and there are others as well. I'm not very impressed by this move, but honestly, G Funky, I don't think it's very surprising that it's happened this way. And obviously, I expect. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I do expect him to win, but I mean, I'm sure he will be favored going into that fight. I do not see him beating Jose Zapata. I just don't. So, and I don't see him beating Regis Prograis. I don't even know if I see him beating Rancis Barthelemy or Victor Postal. So it's not an impressive move to me to be taking on Mario Barrios. But that's just me.
Absolutely. Joe Lopez 40 ounces says Tank versus Barrios on PBC pay-per-view. LOL. I mean, hey, when you're a pay-per-view star, right, you stay on pay-per-view. I mean, am I right or wrong? I mean, these guys like to call him a pay-per-view star. He's had one fight, sold 200,000 pay-per-views, and he's all of a sudden a pay-per-view star. Puerto Rican Rum says Mario Barrios for the upset. Remember, Puerto Rican Rum told you, hey, we will definitely remember that. The GOAT is in the house. What's going on, man? JC says, I don't like that fight for Tank. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Zapata, Pedraza. Those are good fights. Yeah, good fights for him.
Shout out to L-Dub.
Yeah, L-Dub. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot to mention you. Thanks for being here with us, man. No Paul says Tank's a joke. L-Dub says, do you see Barrios beating? No. Oh, man. I'm going to save my thoughts. I'm going to go to Santeo. I'm going to save my thoughts for last, but that's a good question, L-Dub. Go ahead, Santeo.
I think it's a strategic move from Ellerby and Floyd to, I don't know, start some negotiations with people at 135, 130. But I have to agree with Maestro. I don't see him beating Regis. I don't see him beating Chon Cepeda. Victor Postol is probably a good fight, but I think, I hope that they're as much as it takes him to get down to 130. I hope that they're testing him and letting him fight at 140, so that he knows how hard 140s hit, and that'll make him get more disciplined in the gym, so that he can spend that extra 4 weeks and not blow up in between fights and stay disciplined, so that he can keep his power at 135 and at 130. But 140, I have to agree with Maestro. Chon Cepeda, Victor Postol. I didn't like his performance. I believe Mario Barrios was on the undercard of Spence Porter, and I think it was a televised fight. And I remember
he was on the undercard of the Tank Santa Cruz. Yeah. And
I remember it being on a big stage, and I don't remember him performing well. I think he's had another fight since, but I want to get behind him. I know he's from Texas. I know he's with Davies Entertainment, and I want to believe in the kid, but I've already seen something that I didn't like, and that was a mediocre performance on the big stage. So hopefully Ellerby and Floyd are strategically doing this for a reason that we don't know, that's not public, but we'll see.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm having some audio difficulties here for a second, but D-Style, my man. First thoughts, man.
That's the static that you're hearing, because I'm about to cause some shit right now.
Ooh-wee. Let's do it, baby. This uncensored, man. The dragon. We got the dragon on uncensored.
Let me tell you guys something right now, okay? If we lived in a normal world where, this stuff was normal or whatever it is, right? If we lived in a normal world where, we weren't being, assholes to certain fighters like Canelo and to Teofimo Lopez. And if we lived in a normal world where everybody just acted normal, this wouldn't be that big of a deal. But there was static in other fucking channels making the biggest fucking deal about Teofimo Lopez, a 23-year-old who collected all the fucking belts, beating Lomachenko, beating Nakatani, beating Comey, beating Magdaleno, beating 2 reigning world champions. Can anybody name me one fucking champion Tank has beat? Does beating Gamboa for an interim belt really count? For a vacant belt, I should say. Does it really count? No, it doesn't. But you want to make the biggest fucking deal. When Teofimo just suggested, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to move up and I'm going to fight the winner, Ramirez Taylor. Whoever wins that fight, I want to fight that guy for the undisputed championship at 140 pounds. What do we get? Tuh! How dare you? You ducker. You're running from the smoke. You piece of shit. Teofimo. Homo-femo. You're a bitch. You're this. You're that. What the fuck is Tank then fighting Mario Barrios? What the fuck is that? Now we got receipts. Dude, signed and shit. Don't cash checks that you can't. Okay, don't write checks and don't sign checks that your motherfucking asses can't fucking cash. Okay, that you can't come back and be consistent with. I can't keep the same. What do the cool kids say now? Keep the same energy with. Right? That's right, LT. Facts. I guess if I just say facts afterwards, it just makes it true, right? Facts. Right? So how about that? That's all I got to say about that.
Wow. Cooked. The man cooked. And it's my turn to cook now. Now, look, here's what I'm going to say, man. I've said this before a lot. I actually like Tank a lot, man. I know people don't think that. I even had guys on Twitter come at me today about it. But I actually do like Tank. He's exciting. He's an exciting fighter. I had a lot of faith in him early. Things that he did made me lose some faith in him. Like missing weight, struggling to make weight. Well, he missed weight against Fonseca on the undercard of McGregor and Mayweather. He struggled to make weight against Gamboa, and that was a piss poor effort by him. Wasn't a very good effort. And then he's getting in trouble out of the ring, stuff like that. So yeah, I did lose a little bit of faith in Tank. But here's what I'm gonna say, and you're right, absolutely the GOAT. WBA regular is what he's fighting for, and what he's got at 135, and I believe he's got one at 130. I think the only real champion that he's actually ever beat was Pedraza, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But here's my thing, man. Mario Barrios, yes, he's big. He's got reach. He's got height. He's the natural 140 guy. But I'm still not really sold on him yet, man, to be honest with you. And I don't really know of anybody else that is sold. Are you guys sold on him yet as a legit, contender? I know he's top 10, but are you sold on him? Anybody, real quickly? Any of you guys?
I'm sold on it like the Juan Manuel Marquez energy drink I'm about to drink.
So, I mean, it's a good fight for Tank, I guess, because of the size, and I think Barrios will come to fight. But here's the thing that really makes me laugh is that these guys that like D-Style said that criticized Teofimo Lopez in 16 fights for beating 3 guys in the top 10, 2 world champions, 1 guy that was top 3 pound for pound. Now he's going to fight another guy in the top 10. So that'll make it 4 consecutive fights with guys in the top 10 at 135. Right? So when he does all that, and he mentioned, you know what, I might just go up to 140 and fight the winner of Ramirez Taylor for undisputed. I mean, video after video after video, we're hearing bullshit like, he's ducking all the smoke at 135. He's ducking Haney at 135. He's ducking Tank at 135. Right? I know you guys heard all that shit. And I put it on Twitter today. The same thing. Stay fucking consistent. If him saying he's moving up to 140, Teofimo that is, to fight for undisputed, not some fucking regular WBA, is ducking smoke, then what the fuck is Tank doing right here? I mean, isn't that the same shit? Am I tripping or what? You guys tell me. Am I tripping or what? I mean,
I didn't see you fall. You ain't tripping because I didn't see you trip and fall.
It's ridiculous, man. But this is the problem that you guys have. When you come up with all these fucking narratives and all this hating bullshit, now you got to eat your fucking words. If you guys don't say Tank is ducking all the smoke at 140, like you said about Teofimo, and he's not even going up to 140. That's the funny thing. He mentioned that he might just go up and fight for undisputed next. But he's fighting, still staying at 135 and taking on his mandatory. This guy is just completely skipping over everybody, going to 140 to fight Barrios, man. This is, again, man, you guys got to learn to stay consistent, man. And like these Taz said, like the cool kids say, keep that same fucking energy, man. All right? Anybody else got anything to say about this fight?
I'm good.
Maestro, nothing?
Oh, I'm on mute. My fault. His only real win to me so far, especially if you're talking about a title win, was a fight I was at. And I was actually very impressed by it. It was here in New York at the Barclays when he took out Pedraza. Later on, Pedraza said, and we're talking about the sniper, obviously, that he had issues at 135. He was struggling to make the weight. And I would say he actually has looked better since he moved up. And I was very impressed by his last fight at 140. But yeah, Tank should get all the credit for that win. He iced him, literally. He dominated him. But since that win, what has he really done? And I'll let the chat discuss that one.
Not much. I mean, Leo Santa Cruz was the most accomplished guy that he's fought. I think. And that was a good win. You know, I picked against him, so he gets credit for that. And you're right, Run PMC. He's fighting for the real WBA title, according to Floyd Joy Mayweather. You know, that's the real WBA. That's the one I had, so that's the real one, you know? But I just, man, I don't know, man. I don't know, like, why Tank gets so many passes to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, move all around, and like you said, fight the lowest hanging fruit of the division. It's absolutely crazy, man. And the double standards are a real thing out there, man, with these guys. But here's what makes it even more crazy with Tank. Yesterday, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine on Twitter, and this guy showed me his top 10 pound for pound. Let me just get it real quick. I still got, I think I still have it on my phone. I'm sorry, man, but the list is crazy. But he's got Tank ahead of, right? He's got Tank in his top 10. First off, I don't even think Tank belongs in the top 10 at pound for pound at all. But he's got number 10, Pacquiao, number 9, Inoue, number 8, Teofimo, and number 7, Tank Davis. I mean, I want to let Maestro cook on this because I know you like Inoue. I want to know what your thoughts on somebody ranking Tank Davis ahead of Inoue.
Anyway,
you sent me the pick. I got it. I got it over here. I don't know if you want to show it.
I hope you weren't drinking when you.
I don't know if you want. I don't know if you want to show it or not, but yeah, let me look at this because I got it here on the side screen. He's got Spence at number 1. That's absolutely crazy. He's got Crawford at number 2, Canelo number 3, Fury number 4. That one I actually kind of respect. Then he's got Jermall ahead of Jermell. I don't even understand that one really. Because Jermell is actually, to me, more impressive at this point at 154. Then Tank, then Teo, then Inoue, then Pacquiao. I think the most flagrant thing here to begin with is that Spence and Crawford are listed above Canelo. I'm sorry. Canelo is just beasting in boxing right now. He, to me, is by far the most dominant guy in his division between those 3. You know why? Because it still has not been determined who the best guy at 147 pounds is. Some people think it's Crawford, who as yet has still not beat one of the top tier guys at 147. His last fight was against Kell Brook. You know, let's just be real. Spence has a better record at 147, but we don't know who's better at 147. We do know, at least I do, and I'm sure you 3 do as well, that Canelo is the best 168 pounder in the world, right? But yeah, Inoue at number 9, that's absurd. Like, Inoue, to me, again, I would like to see him fight Rigo, but I still see Rigo as the best 122 pounder. He's just moved down to 118. I think Inoue is by far the most dominant at 118. Tank, I mean, you got to be kidding me. The guy just beat up Leo Santa Cruz, and then he told me this, Amilcar, not to cut you off, but he said, if you're gonna have Inoue in your top 10, there's no reason for Tank not to be there. That's what he told me. No, there's actually a lot of reasons for Inoue to be there. Reason number 1, he's undefeated and is dominant and has literally knocked out people that have never been knocked down before. All of his last few fights have been against current or former world champions that people consider to be elite. So, you know, they turn to the fight with Donaire and say, oh, well, you know, he struggled with Donaire. He didn't really struggle with Donaire. He beat Donaire. He got hurt, but guess what? It's boxing. You're going to get hurt from time to time. There's not a great fighter in the history of the sport that has not been hurt. Ali was hurt. Chavez was hurt. You know, even Floyd has been hurt. So it's like whenever somebody wants to make their case and criticize another guy's record, they turn to things that if you just turned it on the guy that you're looking at would not make any sense at all. So look, it's a ridiculous list. It's a fanboy list. And You know, we could debate it, but it's riddled with bias at the end of the day, G Funky. But you know what? I thank you for it because I was having a real tough day yesterday. Some stuff was going on, and that gave me a big belly laugh. So for that, I do thank you a lot.
And you know what? I'm not going to tell you guys who it is because this person might actually come on one day, and we'll ask him about it. So I don't want to. I'm not one of these guys where I'm going to talk about somebody and they're not here to defend themselves. But it is a funny list. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I think
It's not the worst
honestly,
list I've ever seen, though. It's not the
no,
worst.
it's definitely not the worst.
It's actually not that bad compared to some other ones. I'm gonna be honest.
I think one of the worst names on that list is. Let me get it again.
He had Jamal on top of
Yes.
Jamal, right?
Why would you even have Jamal Charlo in the top 10? But not only is he in the top 10, but he's ahead of Jamel, who's doing good shit.
His best
unified.
His best is Devrenchenko. Tell me I'm wrong.
But there's no blueprint. There's no blueprint to beat Jamal. There's already a blueprint to beat Jamal.
Well, he told me this. Well, he handled business at 154. He beat Trout and he beat J-Rock. And now he's champion at 160. So he's definitely got to be in the top 10. I said, I'm sorry, man. If you're going to keep him in the top 10, that's your list. But he cannot be ahead of Jermell Charlo. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
if he's claiming that J-Rock fight, that was in December of 2016.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago.
Remember that Janet Jackson song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? Not a whole lot from Jermall Charlo. But number 5 in the world? Jermall Charlo? Man, that's crazy. I mean, I think Jermell Charlo belongs on anybody's top 10 list. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. If you're going to make a top 10 list currently, he has to be on there. He's done great. And he's one of those guys that took a loss and avenged his loss and became champion, got his belt back, And then not only that, look, he knocked out Banana Rosario in his last fight to become the unified 3-belt champion. And Lineal, he's got the ring belt. So he's doing his thing. But what are your thoughts, Santel? Tank, number 7, man, in the world. Are you in agreement with that, or what do you think, man?
No, but Maestro already picked everything apart. Just having Crawford and Spence, who haven't even figured out who's best at 147, is a great point. The other point about Maul being over Mel is, you just mentioned, and so did Maestro, is just, but also what D-Style's saying. D-Style's saying that it's subjective. It's if every boxer from flyweight to heavyweight were the same weight and had to fight, who would? So it's imaginary, But Maestro picked it apart in 1 minute, so good for him.
Appreciate that.
It was 1 minute and 54 seconds, but I hear you sometimes.
It's definitely subjective, You can put whoever you want. It's your list, but then again, you put a list out there, it's subject to be criticized and to be talked about. D-Style, what are your thoughts, man?
My thoughts on Tank being number 7 pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, I find it I find the whole if Inoue is in there, then Tank has to be in there. Argument. It's kind of an odd argument. It's kind of like, well, if we're gonna put that Japanese dude there, then I gotta put Tank in there. It's kind of like a weird way to do a list. You could do whatever you want, obviously, but I don't know. That's just not a thing to me. It's not a thing, Look, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I don't do lists, right? And the reason I don't do lists is because it's subjective. I mean, it's funny he's 7 because I've always used 6 and 7 for some reason, but I'm not gonna argue who should be 6 or 7, flyweight or cruiserweight. It's kind of like a weird dynamic. It's kind of like a weird thing to argue. You know what I mean? I also feel that pound for pound just naturally is biased for the weight classes in the middle. From lightweight to middleweight, it's very biased towards those weight classes because you see everything in those weight classes. They hit hard enough to knock each other out. There's enough action. It's a fast enough pace, right? Where the lower you go in weight class, it's a faster pace, but you don't see knockouts as often, right? Which is why an Inoue just stands out like that. You know what I mean? And then the higher you go, it's not as much action, but you do see more stoppages or more knockouts, right? Especially heavyweight. A lot of people that didn't see heavyweights for years watch a heavyweight fight, and they're kind of like they don't know what to do while nothing's happening for like 5 straight seconds. They're kind of just like, okay, do something, But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I don't do lists. I believe in the original meaning of pound for pound, right? Which means this: who's the best fighter in the sport? As simple as that. Straightforward question, to the point question, and that's it, right? So for those that don't know, for decades, right? For decades, a lot of, all the attention was on the heavyweights. All the televised fights were heavyweight fights. All the ones that got film on were heavyweight title fights. And while that was happening, who was the best? Well, the best was the heavyweight champion of the world. What are you talking about? Of course, that's the best, right? That's why a lot of middleweights moved up to try to become heavyweight champion, because they wanted to be known as the best in the world. They didn't want to walk around, right, in the planet with people saying, yeah, you're the champion, but you're in that weight class though. Like, we all know the heavyweight champion will beat your ass, right? So the mentality was different, right? In the 50s, when Robinson was as great as he was, and he was being witnessed by spectators, the media, the fans alike, right? Like, they knew they were seeing something special. Like, they knew there was something special about this guy. They knew he was good. And they knew he was more talented than any fighter on the planet, regardless of size. So that's where the term pound for pound came from, right? And they gave it to him. They weren't making lists, or that came later. So you guys can do your list if you want. I'm not trying to be the party pooper on the topic, but I've been consistent about this for years. I don't do the list. I just don't.
I'm right there with you. I've never made a list. I've been on YouTube now for almost 10 years. Actually, tomorrow, I believe, will be 10 years to the date that I've been making videos on YouTube. And I have not made one single pound for pound list I've been here. It's just not my thing, But if you're going to make one, I'm going to talk about it, And there's just no way Tank is number 7 in the world. I'm sorry, man. For what? And like I said, I like Tank. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's exciting, but for what? And I'll say this, even if I did make a list, I wouldn't put any heavyweights on it, because, the list was made for people that weren't heavyweights. The heavyweight championship stood on its own, That's just the way that I would do it. But I mean,
Amilcar wants to put Fury in there, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you said it yourself, D-Style. Like, if you're talking about the best fighter in the world, it shouldn't matter if he's a heavyweight or not. Like, when I was in high school, we all knew who the guys that you didn't fuck with were. We didn't like, oh, well, he weighs over 200 pounds, so we can't count him. This is not how it works. You're the heavyweight. You could fuck up everybody. You're the best fighter in the world. Full stop. But as you said, the pound for pound came in, and then that's when we started imagining, wait a second, what if Triple G did weigh 300 pounds? He probably would beat Tyson Fury. Well, that's not how it works. And, I think the Triple G fanboys will have a bigger problem with that list than anybody else. I didn't see Triple G on there, G-Funky.
It is biased towards the middleweight classes, though, right? Because, look, people assume there are people say, man, if Mayweather was 200 pounds. Dude, if Mayweather was 200 pounds, he wouldn't be as fast. He wouldn't have as good a balance. He wouldn't be as quick on his feet. He'd be heavier. You know what I mean? Like, and if his power, if he didn't have any power like that in those weight classes, good night, bro. If you get caught with a shot like the way Chin Mosey caught you flush, if that's a heavyweight title fight, good night. Sleep.
Good night. And guys, I got the number to call in. It's scrolling at the bottom. And you can Skype as well. It's all the information's there. If anybody wants to call in and chime in on the topic, we can do that. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't understand how you can have a guy like Jermall Charlo, Tank Davis, over Teofimo Lopez at this point? Like how? How can you even make sense of that right now?
Lopez ain't even on the list. That's what's crazy.
No, he's there. He's number 8 behind Tank.
Right, sorry, it said Teo. My fault. Yeah,
yeah. So, I mean, how do you justify Tank and Jermall Charlo to be ranked higher on the pound for pound list than a guy who was arguably undisputed in 16 fights? I mean, I'm gonna try to get this guy on, and we will definitely go over the list. But I want him to explain that to me, man, because it just doesn't make any kind of sense to me at all, man.
Stop giving Tank a pass. Right.
Yes,
Period.
that's gotta be a new one for sure, man. But here's the thing, man. If you question anything he does, then you just hate Tank. You hate him. I mean, that's what one guy took my tweet today, where I basically said what I said when I gave my thoughts on the Barrios fight, where I said, hey, look, if you're gonna say Teofimo's ducking smoke at 135 for saying that he's gonna go to 140 to fight for undisputed, then you got to say the same shit here with Tank. You got to say the same thing. And he said, well, why don't you just say you hate him, and just be done with it. It's like, here we go with this nonsense again.
Forget about
if I can. Sorry, I just wanted to make a quick point here.
Go ahead.
And this is from a video that he did a long time ago, a haplotype, which talked about the halo effect. Okay. And what happens to a lot of guys, especially the ones that are never tested, right? They look really, really good against competition they're supposed to look good against, right? And you get a halo effect out of it. Like, you look better than you really are. You know what I mean? Like, you shine better. Like people get a different perception of your skills, and the eye test is enhanced because you're looking good, right? A lot of other fighters get accused of doing this, like Canelo and Teofimo Lopez, but the one that's really guilty of this is Tank Davis. Tank Davis is constantly fighting guys that he's always a favorite in. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Now, look, I'll be honest. I thought Leo Santa Cruz stood a good shot, and I think credit to him, but Dwyer coined this phrase, knockouts give people amnesia, okay? He was lighting up Tank a couple times. He was piecing him up with combinations, okay?
Oh, he was all
swollen. You could try to justify it by saying, Tank was just letting him get hit. He was just letting himself get hit. Like, no, he wasn't. Nobody just lets themselves get hit. Okay. There's people on here saying, Tank could have knocked him out at any point, but he wanted to give the fans a show. Like, nah, that's not what happened. That's not a thing. No. Okay. That's not what he trained for at the gym. Like, hey man, we're going to get pieced up. So boom, 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 boom. Now hit me. Like, no, that's not a drill. That's not what they teach you at the gym. If you're able to he tried to knock him out. He couldn't. He hit him with good uppercuts, and they didn't knock him out, and then he was still getting pieced up. He caught him with an uppercut that knocked him out, okay? And credit to him for doing that, but let's not pretend at the same time that this wasn't someone that was coming from a lower weight class. What happens if Tank fights guys that are natural lightweights? What happens when he hits a dude that could hit like a mule, just like him, but that could also box like a Teofimo Lopez? What happens if he gets hit? If he gets in there with somebody that's a little slick and it's harder to hit, like a Devin Haney? What happens if he gets in there with a kid that has the fastest hands in the division, Ryan Garcia? Well, we don't know, because Tank's not fighting any of them, and I'm seeing Tank get the biggest hall pass of all time. The dude is getting the hall pass, bro. I mean, holy shit. The dude just gets the pass. You remember school when you would do all the work and shit, and the teacher would just pass like the kid that didn't do shit all year. The last 2 years, I want to fail. Let me do some makeup work, and the last 2 weeks they'll pass a class. That's Tank.
Oh, got some music there. I like that. Yeah. But to answer your question, Alberto, I'm gonna try to watch it. I mean, I don't know if I want to buy it, but I'm gonna try to watch that fight. Anybody else watching the Clarissa Shields fight?
I'm gonna watch it, but like you said, I'm gonna watch it.
I think we're all there for sure. The boxing historian says Tank will lose to Lomachenko. Well, he didn't want to fight him. I mean, he just didn't want to fight him.
Loma calling out Tank. I mean, Haney and all these dudes acting like no. If Haney doesn't want to take it, he didn't have to take it because he wanted to fight him before and he didn't want him. So Haney was asking him out to the prom and he kept saying no. I'm gonna take this other person to the prom. So no, not no more. You don't get to go to the prom with Devin Haney. Okay, Devin Haney gets to pick whoever he wants to go to the prom with. Come on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's just do the fight. Haney versus Loma. I think look, man. Anybody will be up for that fight. Even H Money, Mr. DAZN, Mr. I bet you even he wants that fight. Let's do the fight.
Yeah, I was talking about the Pedraza fight earlier, right? And how I gave Tank credit for that. Since the Pedraza fight, he's fought Liam Walsh, Francisco Fonseca, Jesus Marcelo Andres Cuellar, Hugo Ruiz, Ricardo Nunez, and Gamboa before Santa Cruz. I'm sorry, man. I mean, whether or not you believe in pound for pound or not, that's just not a top tier list of opposition. It's just not.
I agree.
Facts.
And yeah, if you want to touch on the Haney Lopez situation, go ahead. We got a few more guys here. We got Shadow Ghost, Gangsters Playground, Raider. What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us.
Did you guys know that? I'm sorry, G Funky. Real quick, did you guys know that you could say whatever the fuck you want, whether it's true or not doesn't matter. Just end it with facts, and it makes it true. I swear to God. Like I see people do it all the time on YouTube.
Oh yeah, they do it all the time. But if you want to touch on the situation, go ahead, D-Style, and then we'll just pass the mic around, man. Go ahead.
Facts. but here's what I wanted to touch on, man. I mean, what exactly are you referring to? What I mentioned about the Haney thing with Loma?
Yeah. If you want to touch on the Haney Loma,
really quick. I mean, look, man. I think there's a perception out there that HCP, or at least me, I'll speak for myself, doesn't like Devin Haney. That's just not true. You know what I mean? I don't mind Devin Haney. I want to see Devin Haney in big fights. All right? I want to see big fights for Devin. That's what I want. So if the Loma fight is there, just take it, dude. Just because he didn't do it when you wanted him to do it. It's not like Loma wasn't fighting good opposition. He was. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fight is there now. He's calling you out. He's saying, let's do the fight. Like, why the hell not? Like, could you imagine if De La Hoya and Trinidad acted this way? Oh, no, I'm not going to fight him because when I called him out, he didn't want to fight me. You know, he was over there fighting Macho Camacho and he was fighting Knight Cortain, those guys, and Whitaker, and he didn't want to fight me, so I ain't going to fight him. You know? Like that wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like, why do you go fight Obakar instead of fighting me? I ain't going to fight him. I ain't going to fight him. Like, no, dude, like, if the fight is there, do the fight. Loma versus Haney is a great fight. And if Haney wins that fight, that is an amazing win. That's a big win for Haney. Like, that's a big win for Haney. Like, you think someone that Loma already beat is a better win? Linares is a better win than the guy that already knocked out Linares? Like, come on, like, use your heads. Now, does he beat Loma? That's the real question.
Yes.
Because look, it's all good and dandy when you know you're not gonna fight him because you accepted a regular belt, okay, and he got elevated. But now that he's saying, okay, fine, let's do it. Then what's up? You know what I mean? It's simple, man. If you were calling the guy out, he keeps telling everybody that this guy's ducking me. He's ducking me, and then you're sitting at the table at Applebee's and shit. Dude shows up, hey, meet me outside. Let's fight. What are you gonna say? Nah. Like, you didn't answer my call on time. I'm gonna finish my steak. You know what I mean? And then he knocks your drink over. Like, I said, let's go fight. I called you out for 5 months, for 2 years, and you don't want to fight me. So, I don't care if you knocked out my. Yeah, eat my steak. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're eating my steak in front of my family right now. I don't give a shit because I called you out for 2 years, right? I don't care. You slapped me across the face, Roma. I don't care. I was calling you out. You didn't want to fight me. Now, that's not the way it works. He's at your table. He's taking your meal. He's taking your drinks. He's drinking from your tab, and he's saying, "Let's fight now. I'm ready now. Let's go outside. Let's walk to the ring. Let's walk to the ring and let's fight then, kid. Because you've been calling me out. And now I'm here. All right? So let's do it. It's as simple as that."
Reminds me of the classic T.I. song, Stand Up, where he was referencing his little beef with a Lil Flip, the Houston rapper. It's a great song. You guys should listen to that one. It's really appropriate to this situation. Trick Daddy had a great verse on it too. It's like, I didn't say that. She said that. When he's like confronted somebody about some shit that they said. But yeah, it's like it's hard for you to make the argument that some guy ducked you when now, that you have the chance to face him and prove that. It's like you don't want the smoke. Also interesting to me is that whatever happened to all that talk about him fighting my man from the DR, man? Wasn't he supposed to
Fortuna? Yeah,
Fortuna. Like wasn't that on the books? And then all of a sudden, I don't hear a peep about Fortuna. What happened to all the Fortuna talk? They just use Fortuna's name to make it seem like he's actually going after people that are legit. But to me, at this point, I don't know if he is or not. And I'm someone
Samsung said, "Pay me the same that you paid Gamboa, and let's do it." Haney Sr. said, "Okay." They never sent the offer. They said the same thing. Well, we were calling out Fortuna, and he never wanted to fight us. So, and now he wants to fight us? No. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
That seems to be a thing with the Haneys for sure. But I'm gonna let Santiago give his thoughts because he's gonna have to roll out here real quickly. So go ahead, give us your thoughts on this situation, Santiago, and then we'll thank you for coming on, man.
I'm actually a big Haney fan. I'm always a fan of a father-son dual trainers combo. And I actually think he has a chance against anybody at 135. I actually think he does well against all these guys. He might not have as much power as the guys with the most power, but everything I've heard, all the interviews I've heard, commentary from professional trainers, he's the goods. So it's unfortunate that that the things have happened the way they have with that. I mean, even that guy at 126, Gary Russell Jr.'s name was in the mix at one point. But Emil Carr just said, "Hey, were they just using Fortuna's name?" So it's unfortunate because I actually like Haney and I like the father-son duels in boxing. We'll see what happens. But thank you for having me on, everybody. I'm gonna head out. And
congratulations on the T, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And great talking to you, Fonteo. You one of the best doing it, man. Always appreciate your work.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate
make sure you put your link in the chat, man, at some point. I don't know if you're going to be listening or not when you leave, but I want everyone to subscribe to Santiago Media. He's going to be getting some good interviews. He's going to be putting in some good work, man. So make sure you subscribe now. This way you don't miss anything, man. So thank you so much for coming on,
Thank you.
Santiago. And, we'll look forward to having you on again real soon. Maestro, any other thoughts on this back and forth between Haney and Lomachenko?
I mean, look, it would be a great fight. It's like a natural matchup, right? The story kind of sells itself. The story of, this is a guy who overlooked me, didn't think I was worthy, decided to become franchise champion, and now he's kind of fallen from grace a little bit, and let's fight, man. Let me show you that you were wrong before, or that maybe I was right and that you ducked me. It's a promotional gift, to be honest. If you're a promoter, it's a story that sells itself, but it's a story that requires that both guys be willing to face each other. And at this point, we don't know if that's the case. But here's my question to you, G Funky: if not Lomachenko, then who?
Well, there's three guys. We've heard this talk. Now, here's what I want to say. I don't have an issue with Haney at all.
Nope, neither do I.
You know, I mean, and again, like D-Style said, there's been this predetermined notion that HCP doesn't like Devin Haney for whatever reason. We just want to see the kid fight somebody. That's it. And I'm going to speak for myself here. I'm not big on the eye test alone. And that's all we got right now on Haney. I mean, and anybody that disagrees with that, I don't know what to tell you. All we have is eye test on the kid. Does he look the part? Absolutely. He's fast. He can box his ass off. He's good on defense. No doubt about that. The power might not be there, but he's still young. You never know. He, get as he gets older, gets stronger, gets a little bit bigger, the power might start to show up. But as of right now, all we have is the eye test against guys that he was supposed to beat. He's never been an underdog in his career. So I honestly think going into a Lomachenko fight that he might just be an underdog, according to the odds makers, They might just put Haney as the underdog because, again, he hasn't been in with anyone near the level of a Lomachenko at this point. Now, here's what I'll say. Again, with the double standards with his fans, Haney himself said in an interview with Akim Barak, he said, look, they asked him, would you fight a guy in Lomachenko if that fight presented itself to you? And he flat out said, no, he doesn't deserve a shot. When I wanted to fight him, he didn't want to fight me, so I'm not going to give him a chance, Just imagine if Teofimo said something like that. These guys would fucking have a heart attack.
Absolutely.
These guys would have a fucking heart attack over something like that. A guy who they consider a real champion is saying that. So
if Canelo said that.
Exactly. It's fucking crazy, man. The way that they hold certain guys to one standard and another guy to another. A Lomachenko fight will legitimize Devin Haney if he beats him. And if he beats him in more impressive fashion than Teofimo Lopez, and guess what? That fight's even more bigger. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, I keep hearing his dad say it's the biggest fight in boxing. No, it's not. It's not. It might not even be the biggest fight in that division, Teofimo versus Devin Haney. There's Ryan Garcia and there's Tank, but we don't know where Tank's going to be. But I think that those are bigger fights, to be honest with you.
We've got
not a lot of people. We got a call?
Yeah, we got a call, G Funky. Area code 408. You're on live with HCP Uncensored.
Hey, what's up, fellas? 408. It's going to be Dave.
What's going on, brother?
Dave, I didn't make that connection, but I definitely should have. How's it going, fam?
All right. You got a lot of cool people from in the chat from the San Jose region, so shout out to them, too. But great show so far, and last night was spectacular, guys. A great show last night. But while you're on the subject of 135, I've been meaning to get this guy on somebody's show, and I happened to talk to him today. His name is Prince Badi. He's a 135-pound prospect from Canada who's being managed by someone that I know, Phil Greco. You guys remember Phil Greco fought Errol Spence, and he fought Amir Khan.
Of course.
This kid, Prince Badi, he told me a story today that was bugging me out because he was on an amateur. What was he on? He was on an international tournament with Teofimo Lopez, and both of them were discussing. He was telling me they were in Venezuela, and both of them had problems. Teofimo didn't make the U.S. Olympic team. He actually was representing Honduras, and he had the same problems in Canada, where he didn't make the Olympic team over some bullshit ass politics. But hey, here we find ourselves talking about the 135-pound division, and he's on the brinks of getting a DAZN fight. So just want to get his name out there, and people can go check out that interview I did with him earlier today, Prince Badi, on my new YouTube channel. I'm going to put it in the links because I got a feeling we'll be talking about him later on in the year as he makes his U.S. appearance, all knockout wins. And I definitely want to see him mix it up with all these guys at 135.
That's awesome, man. And I look forward to hearing about him. I actually used to live up in the 416, and that's actually where Phil Greco's from, and a couple dudes. Samuel Vargas is from up there too. It's not easy to be a fighter from those places.
Yep. We got a lot of brothers from Northern California, man. We got Dave in San Jose, G-Funk from the 916, get the smokes from Oakland, I mean, hey, we're well represented tonight, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. But like you were saying about that region, man, he's ready to fight Haney. I mean, Haney's on the top of his list of people he'd love to. If they call him to fight Haney, he's ready to take this fight. That's something, like you said, fighters from that region, Samuel Vargas, those guys will jump to fight anybody, whether it's Virgil Ortiz or the top dogs at 135. But while we were mentioning Phil, I just wanted to, nobody mentioned it this week, but, Phil used to train with Fernando Vargas. He trained with him for his fight against Amir Khan. And tomorrow, I think earlier in the day from Puerto Rico, his son will be making a second pro fight on Ring City USA's card in Puerto Rico. And I think we can watch that on Twitch. I just haven't found out what time that fight is. But, Fernando Vargas' son, Junior, will be fighting tomorrow at Ring City USA online and free for everybody.
We'll be watching that for sure. Hector Tanajara is supposed to be on that card as well. He gave us a little shout out. You seen in the intro here for HCP. But yeah, we'll definitely look forward to that, Dave. It's on your channel, the interview.
Yeah, I just posted it up. I tagged a few of you guys on Twitter, and he's down to come on the show as soon as he gets word that he'll be fighting in the U.S. It looks like he's going to get a fight in Florida, possibly on a DAZN card this May, or it looks like May. I'm excited about that, but just so much good stuff in May. May's a big month, man. You guys were talking about that, all the Vegas fights, right? I'm already looking at flights to go to that Jose Ramirez fight.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great weekend there, man. But make sure if you could put your channel, the link to your channel in the chat, man. The Shoe Shine here on YouTube, guys. Make sure that you guys go subscribe and check him out, man. Thanks for calling in, Dave. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Take care, brother. Anybody else want to call in? The number's there. You can chime in. And I want to say this also. While I was talking about the Haney Loma situation, it will legitimize him. It'll make, if he beats him better than Teofimo, it will make that fight even bigger. But here's another thing, man. I think Ryan Garcia now, look, it sounds like Tank's going to go to 140 to fight Barrios. The Pacquiao fight looks like it's going to go to Mikey Garcia. So why not fight Devin Haney, Ryan? Why not fight Devin Haney? You both fight on DAZN. It should be fucking zero problems making that fight, man. Zero problems. And that's another fight. If he beats him, we'll legitimize him.
He paid a sanctioning fee to fight him too. It's like he paid a sanctioning fee to become the interim champion and make himself mandatory. So it's like, why wouldn't you fight him?
Yeah.
I'm not giving away a 6-figure check for no reason.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've never made a 6-figure check, but I did, I guess, give away one when I bought my first my apartment, but most of that was loan money, if I'm going to be honest.
Damn, living in New York, bro. God damn.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine, man. I mean, over here in Los Angeles, the Bay Area, cost of living is expensive there for sure. But I can't even imagine New York, man. But
well, hopefully one day you guys will get to see it yourselves. So,
I look forward to it, man. Look going to see a game right there, man. Yankee Stadium, you know.
Not only that, we'll do an HCP right from here, man. We'll set up 3 mics, TV screen.
Absolutely, man. And I say, look, man, all these fights are good for Haney. All these fights that are there for him are good for him. If Ryan Garcia decides to go that route, that's a good fight for him. Loma is a good fight for him. Fortuna is a good fight for him. Even Linares, who I would rank probably at the bottom of that list, is a good fight for him, man. Those are all good names for him. So let's get this thing on, Haney. I'm tired of seeing his dad always talking shit and this and that. Look, Yankee Stadium right there, guys. Look at that. This is literally the view from a milk car's.
This is my the studio. This is my studio, my spare bedroom window right here, so you guys could see.
Yes,
it's nice. You should go live. What is this when it's like live and they're playing baseball or something?
Yeah, or we could do it right there by the stadium. Take out I've got it's kind of like a generator, but you load it up for like 24 hours or whatever. And you can take your laptops out there and everything. There's Wi-Fi right over there.
So you could cover a real team, not like the Giants. You know, which are like a team that New York didn't want. You know what I mean? And they shipped them over to debate. You know what I'm saying? That's all
I
I'm
agree
saying.
with what you're saying here. Get the smoke. I agree. Joe Lopez says G Funky wants to go to New York for the reggaeton. Hey man, I like reggaeton. I like salsa, y merengue, y todo, man. I like it all, man.
You really like reggaeton. Let's just keep it at reggaeton, G Funky.
Well, let me tell you this, man. My wife likes to dance, so when that music comes on, boy, let me tell you, yeah.
I used to like reggaeton back when like Daddy Yankee was still cool. Like I still think he's cool, but I know the younger kids don't really. They see him as kind of cool.
Más gasolina.
I go back to
That was D Styles jam back in the day.
I go back to the Tego Calderon and Wisin y Yandel and Daddy Yankee days. This new wave is like the one I'm not really messing with.
Can I give a public service announcement to all the grown ass men on YouTube that like to talk shit? Because I'm going to go in on Ryan, but before I do, Ryan Garcia is not dancing for you, okay? Stop going to his Instagram, uploading his dancing videos, and putting them on your YouTube channel to call him all type of F words and G words, okay? He's dancing for the ladies. That's why he's got like 3 baby mamas, all right? That's his problem, but that's what he's doing. All right, he ain't dancing for you. Stop uploading the videos and talking about it. And look at this guy. I mean, what type of a grown-ass man dances like that? Like, what type of a grown-ass man analyzes another grown-ass man dancing for ladies on the internet? I'm just saying.
Right.
The type of grown man that's probably pulling every woman that's in your life, whether it's your mom, sister, or daughter. So, yeah, just get off of YouTube and start focusing on some other shit.
But that's it. Come on, Ryan. Like first of all, I mean, you remember after his fight?
Hold on, D-Style, hold on.
Sure.
I want to mention something that you mentioned that because again, another double standard from these guys. They want to make fun of Ryan for dancing, right? But I don't know. Did they miss this or what?
Oh boy.
Did they miss this?
Do I need to look? Do I need to look?
Look at this. Like a pinche joto, man. What is this? What is this?
And again, I don't care. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a shit.
Really?
I don't care about the video of Tank and Broner kissing each other. I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. All right?
I mean, the thing is this. We wouldn't have to talk about this type of shit if you guys
Get that shit off the screen, brother. Take it off the screen, brother.
kept the same fucking energy, you know? Keep the same goddamn energy.
But like you said, like keep the same energy. He's obviously just joking around, but you know.
He's not like they're not dancing for 40-year-olds on the internet. Okay? No. I'm letting you guys know right now. He ain't dancing for you. Right? Now let me just say this. Tank, if you're not Ryan, if you're not fighting Tank and you're not fighting Pacquiao, I would have given you a pass for not fighting Haney if you fought those two guys. You know what I mean? But since you're not going to fight Tank for whatever reason, let's say it's Tank's fault. I don't care. And then you're not going to fight Pacquiao. Let's say it's Pacquiao's fault. Okay, cool. Then fight Devin Haney. I think it's a fight he can make, to be honest with you. Why not?
Absolutely. Absolutely. JC, con los zapatos de su novio.
But it goes back to like the picture of Canelo kissing his brother in the cheek. Non-stop videos, like non-stop, right? Is this what you guys do in Mexico? And like all this other shit. But there's a video of Tank and Broner kissing each other, and I don't care. All right? Who cares?
Yep. You guys gotta you guys want to dish it out, then you gotta learn to fucking take it at the end of the day. You know, that's just the way it is in life, man. But let's switch some topics, man. Let's switch to what I think is a good fight, in my opinion. Now, Canelo obviously goes in there and destroys Yildirim in 3 rounds. The guy quits. I want to read something here from the WBC while we're on this topic before we go into the actual fight that was announced. Hopefully I still have it, man. If I don't, then I could just paraphrase, but no, I got it right here. So this is according to Mauricio Suleiman on the WBC mandatory being Yildirim, right? Says we need to look into the process that is not working in some roads. There's things we have to go back and look at what is happening. That stage should not have been for much. It should have been for a much greater fight. You telling me that you didn't know that this guy was a mandatory, Suleiman? I mean, is that what you're telling me? Like, how do you not know that a guy who just lost his last fight via stoppage, by the way, being knocked out, was a mandatory for David Benavidez before Canelo, and then now that Canelo got the belt, now Canelo had to take care of business? Are you fucking kidding me? Now this is what it took for you to look and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to change some things. You know, like, wake the fuck up, Suleiman. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, seriously.
It's time
to
earn it, right? Like, how do you get to the Super Bowl? You don't get to the Super Bowl by putting up a good effort in the AFC Championship. No, like, you get there by winning it. You know what I mean? Like, like you don't advance in the NBA to the NBA Finals if because you put up a great effort in the Western Conference. Like, nah, they won 2 out of the games. I think they should advance. Like, no, it's not the way it works. All right. Like, make sure guys that win fights, that win the mandatory become the mandatory. Mm-hmm. It's not that complicated. You know what I mean? And by the way, this segment is brought to you by the Juan Manuel Marquez Energy Drink. All right? That's right.
And don't forget about D-Style. Let them know about the raffle for the poster.
Really quick. So for those that didn't tune in, I hope you did. We have Pat Killian on, a great artist, all right? And he has a painting that he did of the 4 kings. Now, we're not going to raffle out the actual painting, okay? Not the original or anything like that. It's going to be a poster that he has on his website for $30. It's like another $20 to ship, by the way. That's a $50 value to ship it to the U.S. in total. You know what I mean? And what I'm going to tell you right now is, you guys, you can win it. You can win it. All you got to do is keep tuning into HCP, right? No other channel giving you guys shit. Like, they're just pocketing everything and shit. You know what I mean? Ain't no other channels giving you T-shirts. I give out Cash App prizes and shit. You know what I mean? We give it back to the people. We give something back to people, for supporting us, for, getting on this grind with us and giving us real support. Not, tell me what I want to hear. I'm not going to support you anymore bullshit. No, just being down, agree or disagree. But with that said, he was kind enough to, put it up for a competition. I'm going to do a raffle for it next week. Hopefully he has his Twitter handle back. So it's going to be people from Twitter, people from YouTube, maybe some from Instagram. They're going to be in this raffle, and we're going to raffle it out, man. All right. And I might do another T-shirt as well. Okay. So we'll see about that, but just be on the lookout for that. I'm going to have a post up. I'm going to explain on that post what you need to do. And yes, there's a limit to how many people can get in. So stay posted. Literally look out for the post this week. It'll be with the actual picture of it, and you'll have a chance to win it, man. It's a beautiful work of art. It has the 4 kings, Duran, Leonard, Hearns, Hadler, like the deck of cards, the king.
Fucking badass poster.
It looks great. You know what I mean? You could win it. You could win it. And it's an original piece. So I'm just saying.
That's right. So make sure that you guys go ahead and get that done. Maestro, you got some stuff here, man. What do you got? Some rankings here? Is that what we got?
Yeah, I've got the rankings up. And, as much as I want to shit on the WBC, like, all of these rankings are fucked if you look at it. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's start at the far right. You got Zach Parker, who's the number 1 contender for the WBO. The IBF, they don't even have a number 1 or number 2 ranked contender, which is kind of really fucked, right? WBA's number 1 contender is someone whose name is Aidos Yerbosinuli. Never heard of him. Maybe I'll go look them up on YouTube. But what's more fucked with the WBA is they've got David Morrell, who I believe has 5 fights or less as their world champion out of Cuba. And they've got another world titleist named Fedor Chudanov. And then, WBC, they had Yildirim behind Benavidez. And the reason Yildirim actually got his title shot, D-Style alluded to this, was because of the effort he put up against Durrell in a fight that was prematurely stopped. And then because Benavidez essentially lost his title on the scales, he was due to fight for a world title and then kind of stepped aside. But yeah, I mean, all of these rankings fucking suck. And yeah, the WBC's got to look into this. Thank you, Professor Suleiman, for enlightening us about that fact. But I think that they all have got a lot of work to do. Anthony Dirrell's ranked at number 4. Did you see the Dirrell fight on Saturday?
I have not got a chance to see that. I've been really busy this week, but I heard he did not look good. Hey, Mike from Boston, thanks for being here, man. I seen your video that you uploaded with your conversation with Akaka TV. It was pretty good. Go ahead, Amilcar.
No, I was just saying that it wasn't good. And, behind him, you've got Daniel Jacobs, who did not look good at all against Gabe Rosado.
Yeah.
All of these rankings have got to be looked at. And you know what? Maybe we just got to also come to the realization that at the end of the day, 168 pounds isn't really that deep. It might be good if you look at it kind of horizontally. But when you looked at it in terms of its depth, it's a pretty weak division if you look down it. I mean, just look at the top 5 guys across the sanctioning bodies. It leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah. Here's another thing I want to say before we get into the Saunders fight. It's disappointing to see guys on here that are historians. They know a lot about the history of boxing. They come on here and they complain about the Yildirim fight when Canelo could possibly fight 5 times in a year. They should understand, right? I mean, I don't go that far back. I started watching boxing late 80s, early 90s, I remember Chavez fighting 5-6 times a year. And it wasn't always against the top guys. It just wasn't. And he was active. And you know what? People just said, hey, you know what? He's staying busy. He's staying in shape, staying sharp. And he gave us the good fights that we wanted eventually in that same year where he was fighting these guys. And these are the same guys that are complaining about the Yildirim fight. Like, he just fought in December. Literally 2 months later, he's in there again with a tune-up. And now, look, he's going to fight again in another 2 months against undefeated 2-division world champion in Billy Joe Saunders. I don't understand where they're coming from, if it's coming from a place of just being honest about it. But they just can't be at this point. If you call yourself a historian, like, you should know that this is what happened all the time back in the day. It shouldn't surprise you. Maybe some of these new age fans will get surprised by that, but someone who's been around for that long, it shouldn't be surprised. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely right. Chavez did it. James Toney did it. And you know who did it more than anybody else, bro? A guy named Roy Jones Jr., who almost all of these fanboys had as their number 1 ranked fighter in the world, if they're going to be honest about it. Okay, we've got Brian on the line, though. I'm sure he wants to chime in on one of these topics. Sure. Brian, you're on live on HCP. Time to cook, brother.
It was good, y'all.
Very good, very good.
What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
Good with it, funky. Good maestro. And what's good, Dragon Style?
What's up, brother?
We're good, man. Go ahead, touch on some topics, brother.
Yeah. Actually, there's 2 things, man. Since you're bringing up Canelo, now here's the thing about Canelo, and I can appreciate about him and what he's doing. Didn't the man just fight in November or December? And he just fight just last week.
Mm-hmm.
And he's about to fight Billy Joe in Cinco de Mayo or May 8th, I should say. I mean, I can't really. I don't see how there's anything to hate on that because, as a fight fan, right? And you said that you started watching boxing like late 80s. Mine's around probably like 96. During the era of Tyson, or when he came out of jail. Mm-hmm. My thing is, like, guys a lot more frequent back in the day, in like the 2000s, the 90s, and even going back to going back to the old days. I mean, guys were fighting almost every month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can say the quality of the opposition that he's faced. But at the end of the day, those guys are ranked opponents. You know what I'm saying? Now, are they C-level fighters? Yeah, that's what they are. But I can't. You can't really hate on a guy that's going around doing what most of these guys who think they're great and think they're on the all-time list. From their perspective. But I'm saying he's doing what you're supposed to do as a great fighter. Now, my thing is the only fighter right now currently that has a legitimate claim to any kind of all-time status of any sort would be him. And he's doing what guys from the past were doing. He said that he wanted to fight 4 times a year, or at least fight 4 times this year for that matter.
Yeah.
You can't, and mind you, amidst all the madness that's going on in this earth right now with this pandemic, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing to really hate on. I don't understand. Like, come on, man. Like, remember guys back then were fighting, individuals that people in today's time period because of the wins and loss record. But we know that's we know the real reason for that is because of the amount of times they fought. Ray Robinson had the bum of the month, but that's not to degrade those fighters because, and a lot of these guys are real ignorant about the sport of boxing and ignorant about an everyday fighter's life. Like, look, 90% of boxers today that are boxing, that are professional boxers, have a second job. So the cab driver thing, the Uber driver thing is ignorant to even say. At the end of the day, the man's going out and he's fighting guys that want to go up and fight him. You got guys like Gervonta Davis, from some articles I was reading a couple years ago, says that he don't train when he don't have a fight. Who said stuff like that, and they're considered to be a champion.
Yeah. And I want to say this too. You make some great points, man. But I'm going to point this out to people because ever since Canelo has been doing his thing as of late, the Mayweather comparisons have been popping up. Now I know, Maestro, I think you have Roy Jones's resume on the screen.
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna read Floyd Mayweather, right? Because people say, well, Mayweather never fought anybody like Yildirim when he was a face of boxing. Well, here, let me tell you why he wasn't. Because that dude was so inactive when he became the face of boxing, he had no choice but to fight somebody big. Like, you're fighting 1 time a year. Check this out. After he beat Oscar, right, he goes on to beat Ricky Hatton later that year. Then he retires. You guys remember that? Retired for almost 2 years. He comes back. He fights Juan Manuel Marquez in 2009. That was his only fight that year. His next fight was the next year, 2010, against Shane Mosley. That was the only time he fought. Then he fights Ortiz in 2011. That was the only time he fought, 2011. Then he fights Miguel Cotto, 2012. That's the only time he fought, 2012. Then he fights Robert Guerrero in 2013 and Canelo. 2 times. This guy's fighting once a year and then retiring in between that. And then you guys want to complain about a guy staying active? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm sorry.
Not only active, 4 times in a 12-month span.
I just want to say this. He retired 4 times in a span of 10 years, man.
You could say that, yeah.
And one of the times he came out of retirement was...
and then somebody, I just want to say this. Somebody will sit up here and get mad when you say, look, I have Floyd in my top 50, but he's like in the bottom end of the top of like the late 30s, early 40s. Guys get mad at that. And then you'll point out that and be like, oh, you're just hating. Well, come on, man. I've never seen nobody retire 4 times in a span of 10 years. And you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I mean, and not to take nothing away from him, but come on, man.
Absolutely. Go ahead and read what you got there, Milcar, on Roy Jones.
No, I mean, it's a similar story. In fact, the Floyd example is probably even a better example. But to Brian's point, I mean, yes, Roy Jones was fighting guys like the Australian here, Glenn Kelly, February the 2nd, 2002. Apparently, this guy was a sanitation worker in Australia. But at the end of the day, regardless of the fact that Roy Jones knocked him out, I mean, he technically did knock out an undefeated fighter. But here's the thing, and this is where he's separate from guys like Canelo. He fought twice in 2002, right? He fought twice in 2001, right? This is a guy, he fought twice in 2013. He fought twice in 2014. He fought once in 2005. Look, Canelo's about to fight possibly 4 times this year. Minimum he's fighting is 3 times. So whether or not you like Yildirim as an opponent, and I don't think any of us is out here claiming that Yildirim is anything other than what he is and what he showed that he is, but he's not Canelo's only fight this year. He's not Canelo's only fight. He's not even going to be one of Canelo's only 2 fights. Canelo's fighting 3 times this year, and he's probably going to fight 4 times this year. And he already just fought in December. So, yeah, I mean, these guys that we consider to be pound for pound greats and, you know, legends of the sport and everything else, it's like, look, I'll bring up Tyson here, who I had up on the screen as well, right? I mean, between the Holyfield loss and the Lennox Lewis loss,
he wasn't doing shit.
Look at his opponents. We got Franz Botha, Orlin Norris, Julius Francis, Lou Savarese, and Solada after the losses, after Riddick Bowe, and the world beater from Copenhagen, Brian fucking Nelson.
I'm sorry, man, but every time I hear Lou Savarese, I think of the post-fight interview. I'm gonna eat your children.
I mean, really?
Oh man, wait a second, Brian Nelson. Hey, wait a second, Brian Nelson was undefeated though, man.
No, he had the one loss on it. He had the one loss on his record at the time, and but yes, I mean, he did have all those 62 wins. I mean,
but guys, we don't need to go that back. All we have to do is show the current top fighters at 160, 168, and 175 right now. Look how often they're fighting, and look at the level of opposition that they're fighting.
All right, good point, D. So you know what I'm going to bring up now?
That's all we have to do, and they're not fighting it. Like, they didn't do it in between 2 major fights. They're making us wait a whole year or 6-7 months.
And Ortiz, I'm sorry. Outlaw makes a great point here. He says he retired so he didn't have to rematch Oscar, fight Margarito and Paul Williams. Not only that, you know, he didn't fight Cotto at 140, and they're both under top rank. He didn't fight Ricky Hatton at 140, where he was arguably at his best.
He obviously didn't fight Kostya fucking Zoo at 140.
Didn't fight Kostya Zoo. There was a lot of smoke left there for him at 140. So I mean,
smoke at 130.
And you know what's funny?
There's a lot of smoke at 130.
You know what's funny about that Floyd Mayweather thing with Cotto? I mean, guys talking about that he fought him, but I remember back in 2007 on YouTube when it's like Floyd was interviewed by somebody over there in Puerto Rico, and this dude said, and I don't know, I think somebody took that shit down, but he literally said the reason why I can't do a fight with Cotto, this is out of his mouth, you know what I'm saying, you know, translated in English, if you read the English subtitles. He said that, yeah, man, you can't do a fight with Cotto because he lives in Puerto Rico and that would mess up with the schedule or something like that, something to that effect, you know? So,
well,
he said a lot of things, bro. This is the same guy that said, people calling me a coward because I won't fight Pacquiao. Well, guess what? I'm a rich coward. And he literally thought that was like a smart thing to say. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, let's look at Caleb Plant. You know, you're talking about a Canelo contemporary, right? This is a guy that he's he's got the sweet hands. He's tall. He can box. He's going to outbox Canelo. Canelo's never fought a guy like this. Okay, well, 2018, he had 1 fight against Porky Medina. 2019, he really stepped it up because he had 2 fights. He had Uzcategui and then the world beater Mike Lee. All right, and then if that wasn't enough, you know, he could only fight once in 2020 because of the level of this competition. I mean, this guy's such a great fighter that he really needed like a 16-week camp, all right? And then had to do a whole lot of recovery after that fight.
Because he needs time, Amilcar.
I mean, can you blame him?
That's facts.
It was Vincent Fagenbutz. His soul of 2020.
Facts.
But yeah, the
Nothing but
criticism is
facts.
just.
You know who the worst?
Oh, I didn't know he was going to drop the fix.
Go ahead, Brian.
I just want to say this. You know, the worst of all the guys that's at 168 or in that middleweight range from 150, 154, 160, 168 is Andrade, man.
Facts.
That guy, I never was impressed with that guy coming up because he ain't never fought nobody, and the amount of fights that he has compared to the ratio of the length that he's been in the sport, or at least the length he's been as a professional, it leaves a lot to be desired, man. And I don't understand how this guy's even ranked in the top 10, and he ain't fought nobody. He hasn't fought nobody or has been active like that. This man has 2 fights in 3 years, man. He's guys saying that he can beat the top dudes. He ain't fought nobody. That's a C-level fighter.
Exactly, man. Not only that,
you know,
the same guys who criticize Billy Joe Saunders, the Billy Joe Saunders fight, will say he needs to fight Charlo. He needs to fight Andrade. Like, what makes those guys so much better? All 3 of them are undefeated. All 3 of them are 2 division world champions. And if you ask me my opinion, Billy Joe has fought and beaten the better competition than both Charlo and Andrade.
Charlo has not beat anyone on the level of Andy Lee. He just hasn't. I mean, I'm sorry, but those are facts. Okay, as D-Style says. But you know what's funny to me? What's funny to me is the same motherfuckers that are bigging up Caleb Plant are so easily able, without even thinking it through, dog my man Joey Zags Calzaghe on Twitter like he was a trash fighter. I mean, they just have there's no semblance of like objectivity or when it comes to this. I mean, the guy fought once in 2020 and it was to Vincent Fagenbutz. Enough said.
Guy's name is Butts. Get him out of here.
Fix.
Caleb Plant. His only fight last year was Fagen Boots.
Let me tell you something, bro. You fight a dude with anything that rhymes with butt, so you haven't fought shit. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, all right? What's so hard for people to understand that Canelo was in litigation? And as soon as he came out of litigation, all right, he had to make a fight like right away. Like just get in the ring with somebody. You know, Plant was running. He said, I need time to prepare. And everything's about time with this guy. I need time. I just had a grueling schedule, Canelo. Okay, I've had a grueling fight schedule. I fought all these killers. I need my rest. I need time. Okay, fine. You know, arguably the best 168-pounder said, okay, I'll fight you. They do the fight. Okay, Canelo had the same amount of time to prepare as Callum Smith. Okay, the same amount of time. Okay, dominates Callum Smith. All of us overnight, Callum Smith becomes a Euro bum, right? Oh, Euro bum. I mean, this is xenophobia running amok, okay, with a lot of these white TVC channels, okay? If you're from Europe, you're a bum automatically. Like, that's it, right?
Yeah, you're a Euro
bum. So, right. Okay, I guess Hopkins lost to a Euro bum. I guess Wilder got dominated, knocked out by a Euro bum then, right? I guess that's just the way it is, you know? Hey, whatever, right? But, and then he fights 2. This is the part that gets to me. 2 months later, not half a year later, not Cinco de Mayo weekend, not an Independence Day weekend, 2 months. And he fights Yildirim, and then he's going to be back another 2. How many months, guys? How many months?
2. Facts.
2 months. Like,
Facts.
2 sweet. You know what I mean? That's Canelo, like, 2 sweet. Like, I'll be back, guys. 2 more months. 2 more months. You know what I mean? Because it's just too sweet. You know what I mean? Just 2 months. He's going to be back, and he's going to fight Billy Joe Saunders, bro. 2. Like 2 months. Not half a year. Not 6-7 months. Not next year. 2. Like, this is the part that people just leave out. Like, well, I don't care. No, look, man. Okay, he ain't no good. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. If he's no good, if he's no this and he's no that. Okay, he got a mandatory out of the fucking way, and he's like, just pretend the fight didn't happen. Like, would you really be complaining if he fought in December and then in May? That's a busy schedule nowadays. He just got something done in between. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not.
And it was a mandatory. Whether you agree with it or not, it was a mandatory. So
yeah, Big Ryan. Any final thoughts, man, before we let you go, brother? When we appreciate your call, man.
Yeah, no issue. I mean, and I've always thought this, man. Okay, in this modern age day of boxing, are you telling me it's hard to fight? You're telling me it's really this hard to have 4 or 5 fights a year when you're not injured, when you're not severely injured? I mean, everybody gets hurt training. You know, you can bust your fist, rotator cuff, you know what I'm saying, pull a hamstring. I mean, that kind of stuff happens in boxing. It's just what it is. But you're telling me if you don't sustain a significant injury or significant damage, you're telling me that you can't fight 4 or 5 times a year? Because how are you going to, and this is what I don't understand. I just want to make this quick point. All these guys trying to talk about the A side, B side bullshit, silly shit that these guys be trying to mimic with Floyd Mayweather. You guys have not built up your brand or your name. Nobody knows you cats. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows y'all because you only fight 1 or 2 times a year, and you expect people to want to buy your pay-per-view fights. One thing I give credit to Canelo, he has built up a fan base. I mean, of course, he got a country behind him, you know, so that does help. But he has been consistent, and he has been consistent in terms of the frequency of how many times he fought over the course of the last 4, 5, 6 years. Now I have to give him that. And these guys need to do that if they want to get on that star status.
Facts. And Big Brian, man, we appreciate your call, man. Always a good call, man. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Thank you, Brian. I got you saved, so whenever you call in, I'll get you right on, brother.
Not an issue, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Love boxing. Peace.
Absolutely. Peace to you too, brother. I'll say this. We're almost getting that time to wrap it up. I know it's getting late for our brother Milcar. You know, he's controlling the lines for us. But I want to get you guys' quick thoughts and you guys in the chat. What is your chances that you give Billy Joe Saunders to beat Canelo in May? Maestro, I'll start with you.
I'll give him a 25 to 30% chance. You know, I mean, the thing about Billy Joe, we were having a discussion about this earlier. We streamed live today on D-Styles channel. You can check it out, or on my channel. You know, Drew Evo called in, the co-host with Dave 408 of the Shoe Shine, and he's one of the people who believes that like Billy Joe's really going to be up for this fight, and like we see the best of Billy Joe when he faces the best competition, and you know, if the best Billy Joe shows up, we're talking about a guy who's a slickster. He's a southpaw. He's relatively physically strong. I don't know if he's as strong as Canelo, but he does have good footwork in there. He's got good in and out movement. He's going to show angles. And he's going to be willing to stink out the arena or the stadium or wherever they fight. So I give him a shot to go the distance. I give him a smaller shot to win, but an upset could happen. But
you said 30%, you said? Or
25 to 30%.
25 to 30. So here's my response to that.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Nothing. Yeah. No response. Silence.
D-Style, my man. What is your chances of Billy Joe Saunders pulling the upset here?
Here's my projection, pretty much. I think Milcar is about right. At like 30% sounds about right. I will say that a draw is actually more likely in this fight than other fights. It is. I'm not saying the draw's going to happen. I'm just saying likeliness. So I'd probably say like there's about a 10% chance this fight could end in a draw. I'll say about 20-25% chance that it could end with Billy Joe Saunders winning, and then the rest Canelo winning. I think Canelo will win. I think I have seen improvement with him, but of course he has to show it in the ring. I thought Jacobs was a really good matchup that showed me Canelo had improved, but a lot of people don't consider Jacobs a pure boxer for some reason. So I disagree with that, but they don't consider Jacobs a pure boxer, and they don't think Canelo's fought anybody that emulates a style like Billy Joe's, right? Where he's really good on his toes, he can move around the ring, can be slick in there, make a miss, and that's been one of the kind of criticisms, right? And if you remember, Pacquiao had a very similar criticism at one point. Do you remember like the whole, Pacquiao, he never fights that slick style and this and that, you know what I mean? And eventually he did. And he fought Bradley and Bradley won the fight, but I feel the wrong guy won. You know what I mean? But then he beat him 2 more times after that. So all I could say is that it's a good fight. I hope it's a competitive fight. I like seeing competitive fights, guys. I like fights to be competitive, but I just think that it's going to be too much pressure bust pipes. I think Billy Joe's going to look amazing for about the first 4 or 5 rounds. He's going to start slowing down in the middle rounds, and then I think he's going to be getting pieced apart in the latter half of the fight. So I got Canelo winning, but decent shot for Billy Joe to not just maybe win, but give Canelo a good fight.
One thing I'll say about Billy Joe is that he's unquestionably a great boxer. What is under question is, his dedication to the sport now. There's, lack of fights, because he's one of these guys that doesn't fight very often, at least compared to Canelo. This is a guy that made the UK essentially national boxing team as a teenager. He fought in the Olympics as a teenager against like grown ass men fighting in places like Asia and Eastern Europe. So he's been doing this shit for a long, long time. He's not going to be intimidated, but does his track record up to this point equal beating a guy like Canelo, who's been fighting the toughest opposition on a regular basis? Because to me right now, it's not really a question of talent. It's a question of, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. Has he been doing that the last 10 years?
And by the way,
Canelo has.
I just want to say this, man. Canelo comes back from litigation, and he's about to have, if he beats Billy Joe Saunders, 3 of the 4 belts. And he's getting all this criticism. And he could unify. He could become undisputed by the end of the year, and you hear all this criticism. Mm-hmm. Just stop and think, guys. In 5 months, he's going to have 3 of the 4 belts. Stop and think about that for a moment. Just stop and think about it. If any other fighter did that, right? If any other fighter got 3 of the belts in 5 months, we'd be like in awe. Like, and I don't want to hear, but one of them was vacant. Like guys get vacant belts all the time in boxing, okay? All the time. So it's not just a Canelo thing, but 3 of the 4.
And they pick and choose when they want to acknowledge that with certain fighters, Oh, this guy is not the real champion because he didn't take it off the guy who had it. It was vacant, But I guess I'm seeing some percentages here. I know Philly Irish Drew Evo is picking Billy Joe to win, but I haven't seen anything over 40 yet from any of you guys in the chat or anybody here on the panel. So once again, we got to play this.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah. If the fight is anywhere near close, if the fight is could go either way, or Canelo edges it out, you're gonna see a bunch of robbery and they robbed him. I could sense that already, but I do believe Canelo will win in very convincing fashion, in my opinion.
Funky, my answer to that silence you just laid us down with is this. A whole lot of crickets, man.
I'll say this, man. last year when there was talks of this fight happening in May of 2020, I made a video right away and I said, you know what? This is a good fight for Canelo. And let me tell you guys something. I had some Canelo fans come at me hard in the comment section. Like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Billy Joe's garbage. He's weak, blah, blah, blah. So I came on again. I think the next day I talked about it again. And we had a guy come on, D-Style and I talked to him. And, you know, there was just no convincing this guy that Billy Joe was a good opponent, even though we told him, look, by you calling him a bum and that he's not that good, you're taking away from, you know, Canelo's win if he beats him. But I'm not going to give my percentage yet. I'm going to break the fight down. You know how I do, man. I break fight down. I look at film. You know, I look at the video and stuff like that. But I'll say this, man, for Canelo. Has he improved a lot over the last couple of years? Absolutely. I was saying this back when he was fighting guys like Angulo, when he was fighting, you know, Trout. You know, even when he was fighting Josecito Lopez, you were seeing him add certain things to his game. But the one thing I haven't seen him do yet is cut off the ring on a guy that's going to give him some good movement. That's one thing I haven't seen him do effectively yet. You can say what you want about the Lara fight, but guess what? He had a tough time in there. He had a tough time with them. It was hard for him to cut off the ring. Matter of fact, I don't think he cut off the ring that much on Lara. It was tough for him. Moving's tough. And a lot of things have changed. You know, he's good. You know, he's added the parrying, the counter off the parrying of shots, the head movement, the slight movement coming forward and stuff like that, the intelligent pressure that he puts on guys. All that has been good. The upper body movement has always been good. But again, I need to see him do that. And I think that that's going to present some trouble for him, man. If Billy Joe comes on his game, 100% focused, that movement could give him some trouble. And I want to see him do it. I want Billy Joe to come in there and move the best way that he can move. This way I can see Canelo get in there, cut the ring off on him, land some body shots, take some energy out of those legs, and then hopefully get him out of there late in the fight. I think it's a good fight, though, man. I don't see any reason for anybody to complain about this guy fighting. Again, he's going to fight 3 times now in 6 months. Both one against the best guy, the most accomplished guy. He gets a tune-up fight in between, and now he's fighting another 2-division undefeated world champion in Billy Joe Saunders. Good fight. I'm not taking anything away from Saunders or Canelo for this fight because I think it's a good fight, man. The prediction will be dropping soon for sure, man. Do we have any calls, Maestro, or is that it, man? Are we clear right now?
No, we've got lines open. In fact, I set us up tonight for 3 concurrent lines. So we don't just have the one line open. If anyone wants to call in, the number's up there. It's 718-618-4284. Last night on 8CP, we actually had a caller from Mexico. So if anybody's out there outside the United States, you can hit up my Skype account, which is up there as well. It's elmaestroamilcar@gmail.com. But yeah, 718-618-4284 lines are open tonight.
We got one time for one more call, and then we're going to wrap it up because, like I said, Amilcar is over in the Bronx. BX, stand up. All right. And it's late for him over there, man. So we got to be considerate to him. And we thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate you coming on and giving us a phone line.
Bros, man, always.
By the way, I just want to let you guys know, man, whenever you tweet something about, if you share something on social media, Twitter, or even like Instagram, Facebook, feel free to, to tag us. You know what I mean? I'm on all 3. D-style_boxing on Instagram or at D-style boxing on Twitter. Just go ahead and tag us there. Hashtag 8CP. I want to take over that, that hashtag. Share it with that. That's going to help the brand grow. You know what I mean? And just so I appreciate the guys that share it. Just make sure you add that hashtag 8CP. That way if anybody wants to look for 8CP, they put a hashtag 8CP. If you share it on, YouTube, hashtag 8CP. So it's as simple as that, man. And like no matter what, whether it's uncensored, the podcast, 8CP started as a show on Tuesdays, but the show on Tuesdays is the 8CP podcast now. You know what I mean? That's not 8CP. It's the 8CP podcast, but 8CP is a movement. You guys can be 8CP. We're all 8CP. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we thank everyone that supports it. hashtag HCP all the time, or even hashtag Hispanics causing panic. It is causing, by the way, not causing. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know right now. Just want to get people in the habit of getting that right. But just for branding sake, it's a long story why, but just work with me, and all that good stuff, man. And again, you have a chance to win some free, like a nice, like professional painting. It's a poster. It's not the original painting. I don't want to get false advertising, but it's still a great poster of the Four Kings. You could win it. Look out for that post, man.
I like that. Hashtag HCP ya sabes. That sounds good. But you guys, anything else you want to talk about with Billy Joe, man? Do you guys think I'm crazy by saying that about Billy Joe, that he could possibly pull an upset, man?
I don't think you're crazy at all. I think, again, it dates back to, you got to look at the dude. This guy was a prodigy as a kid. This is a guy who was fighting for the British national team as a teenager, boxed in the Olympics as a teenager, was a highly touted prospect coming out of the Olympics, and ended up getting into a pro career that for one reason or another, started off kind of hot and then kind of slowed down a little bit. But the skills are there. The experience, and like I said, the steel sharpening steel at the championship level is what the question is, because he's had to win against Andy Lee. He had to win against Chris Eubank Jr. He had to win against David Lemieux. But these have been few and far between, whereas Canelo's been taking on top-tier guys essentially since Mayweather, and that was a long time ago.
And those are things to consider, man. And that's why anytime if you guys are familiar with my breakdowns when I do my prediction videos, I always go over the strengths and the weaknesses of both fighters, and then I come to my conclusion. That's something you have to consider. The fact that, yeah, he's got some good wins, but like Maestros just said, few and far between, Anything you want to add to that, D-Style?
Look, this is one of those fights where an upset, like if Billy Joe Saunders goes in there, right, and executes a good game plan, Canelo has a bad night, he could definitely win that fight. There's no doubt about it. Canelo comes in flat or something, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think they know what they're doing, but it's definitely possible. And I'm not even talking like if the stars align possible. I'm not saying like a set of things has to happen. I'm just kind of telling you guys that if Canelo has a bad night and Billy Joe Saunders executes a good game plan, Billy Joe Saunders could definitely win. And Billy Joe could still win even if Canelo is not having an off night. I just don't think his chances are as great, but his chances are there. I'm favoring Canelo, right? Now, obviously, like anything else, right? We all got to assess it, look at it closely. And we still got to, let's hope Billy Joe doesn't pull out now. All right?
Oh, boy.
Knock on wood. Okay? Let's just hope we don't get all excited for nothing. But I don't think he will. I think Eddie Hearn has things in order. I think Canelo's doing the right thing working with Eddie right now because Eddie had those guys aligned for him, to get those belts. And then we can deal with the planned situation later. So let's get this one out of the way. Let's get this leverage. And then at some point, all I'm going to say right now is, Billy Joe, don't pull out, brother. Okay?
Yep.
Don't pull some bullshit now.
Mad Dog H has a good question here for us, man. He says, if Billy Joe Saunders wins, is this the biggest win? Is this the UK's biggest boxing win? It'd be up there. It would definitely be up there, man. What do you guys think?
I actually answered it in the chat. I think that Josh Taylor's win would be bigger just because it would be the UK's first undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Obviously, Lewis was the first undisputed champ for the UK in the 3-belt era before the WBO became something. I think it would be huge, but I think it would be bigger if the Plant fight happened first.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence about the Plant, man. I just don't have faith in the PBC. If I could quote my main man, No Paul, who's in the chat, there's always some strings attached anytime you want to work a deal with the PBC if you're not under them already, But D-Style, what do you think, man? Will that be the UK's biggest win if he pulls the upset against Canelo?
Look, dude, if he beats Canelo Alvarez, that's up. That's up there with. I think that's bigger than Calazaghe beating Hopkins, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm putting it up there, like some of the all-time. Like it's up there with Lewis beating Holyfield when he beat him.
I was just gonna say that.
It's you could go all time with it. I don't need to stick to the last few years. Obviously, Tyson Fury in hindsight, you could look at it, but him beating Klitschko was a big deal. You know what I mean? But it's up there. It's definitely up there.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know where to assess it yet. You know what I mean? But it would be a big deal. But it's not gonna happen though. And Drew, if you want to do that pie bet, brother. You know what I mean? Because I saw you laughing at me. Are you sure? Are you sure Billy Joe's going to win? Well, do that pie. I have you come on HCP and take that pie.
I think he's already got a pie on the line with Shoe Shine.
No. I want you to do it on HCP in front of 100 people. Are you willing to do that, Drew? Are you willing to take that pie in the face for Billy Joe? I told you I'm vindictive.
Man, he's looking to get that pie revenge, ain't he?
Oh, wow.
But
if Canelo loses, I'll take the pie. I'll take the pie on NCP.
Well, we'll wait for Philly Irish Jew to answer that, but we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, man. Like I said, it's getting late for my man Amilcar, but I want everyone in the chat to give this man a hand for coming on late night over there in the East Coast, helping us out.
No worries, fam. Anytime.
Give him some love, man. Give him some love, all right? But I'm going to let you go ahead and give your final thoughts on Milcar.
Yeah, look, Hispanics causing panic, man. That's what it's all about. Who's down with HCP? I know all of the people down here are. We're trying to get everybody onto this wave. We got to try to get those T-shirts out, moving on, right? Great designs by my man D-Style over there. G-Funky is always doing your thing, man. Appreciate you having me on here. And look, this is one conversation amongst many because I'm always going to be available and down to be around my brothers at HCP. So thank you, everybody. Last thing I'll just say is I got like 13 subs to go before I can name my YouTube channel. So if you're here watching and if you've agreed with anything I say, if you disagree with anything I say, that's cool too. Just sub to my channel. I'm trying to name my channel officially. And again, you'll see a lot more of me thanks to the guys right here with me, D-Style and G-Funky.
Philly says, you don't want to take another pie, bro. He's confident, man.
Wow,
But
he's real confident.
I didn't ask you that. Did I ask, hey, Philly, do I want to take another pie? No, I said, do you believe in Billy Joe like that? If you believe in Billy Joe, then say it's on. Say bet. Just type 3 letters.
Baby.
Bet.
Like Marvin Gaye says, let's get it on. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to Maestro A, man. 13 more subs. Let's get it in. But before I go to D-Style, I want to run down the schedule. Again, Mondays I have the Leave It in the Ring show with Maestro A and the big homeboy 97 Rough at the Leave It in the Ring channel. Tuesday on D-Style Boxing, we have our show, Hispanics Causing Panic podcast. Wednesday night is here, uncensored. Then we have the Shoe Shine also, I believe, on Monday, I think he goes. If you correct me if I'm wrong. And Amilcar, and Amilcar does his show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right?
Yep, live at 5. Live at 5. We had a good one today. Actually, we simulcast on D-Style's channel. Check it out after this. All right, we kind of did a deep dive into the comparisons between Rigo's treatment after beating Nonito Donaire and Teo's treatment after beating none other than Lomachenko. And we kind of went in on that and then a bunch of other topics. I was joined by my man Kenny from out here in New York in the Heights.
Yeah, it was a good show, man. Again, make sure you subscribe to Maestro A, man. Come on. And don't forget our homeboy also. His schedule is kind of all over the place, but he is HCP Familia, Raw Boxing TV. He is the Cubano section of HCP, so make sure you guys subscribe to him as well.
Oh, it's causing panic, bro.
That's
You're
right,
ready
man.
for Raw Boxing. You're not ready.
Ain't ready, man. But D-Style, give us your final thoughts, man, before we wrap this one up.
Yeah, so guys, cheap plug. So I'm gonna put the link one more time. right there, and the promo code is uncensored, all caps. I believe it might work without the caps, but just put the caps anyway. Free shipping, all right? Free shipping, man, and you know what I mean. And just go there, get your teas and all that, man. Free shit. The shipping is free. It's like you just walk into the store and buy it. You know what I mean? And go to Black and Brown's, man. Black and Brown, he sent me this tea, brother, and I appreciate it. He's selling T-shirts and stuff, so go and support Black and Brown. Go to his channel, Black and Brown Boxing, and he has a video up about that. You could hit him up and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? And he already has the teas, and he sends them out. So I just wanted to give him a shout out. He saw these teas as well. Once again, man, dude. Hispanic causing panic. We're gonna have some other ones coming out with a new design. You know what I mean? It's got the "Are you down with HCP" on the back. And look, bro, every time I wear this, people stop me and they ask me. You know what I mean? I got a couple of people ordered them from running into me, and I told them where to get it. You know what I mean? So just go. I'm telling you, man, you look good. You know what I mean? You're gonna be wearing shit at all the viejas and shit. Oh, what's that T-shirt? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying, man. But what I want to ask everybody, hey, Milcar,
yo,
are you down with HCP?
100% down with HCP.
All right, G-Fuck, you down with HCP?
You know me.
Hey, Chad, who's down with HCP? Everybody. All right.
So it looks like Drew. Looks like Drew's taking your bet. He says if he's gonna bet on at the casino on him, he's gonna bet a pie. So it looks like it's on. H Dog here says Hispanos cazando pánico. That's right, man. HCP, you know me. We appreciate the support.
So mark
you
it
guys.
down, man. So it'll be like the 10th of May. He'll be taking a pie in the face on HCP. So there you go. One more thing. Next Tuesday is my birthday. All right. So as a birthday wish, all you guys got to do is show up to HCP. You know what I mean? And we're going to be giving you guys a gift. You know what I mean? Just tune in and win a chance to get a professional painting poster. Right? That's all you got to do. And stay posted for the post.
That's right, man. And man, I hope you don't have to take another pie to the face, my brother.
Canelo ain't losing, brother.
Oh, wait a minute, guys. We were gonna wrap it up, but we got a guest here, man. A surprise guest. Teofimo Sr. What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Oh, he dropped off. Oh. Well, hopefully he comes back on. Yeah.
Wow.
But he showed up, man. Is he back? Yeah, let's see. Here we go.
Right. Let's hit him.
Can you hear us, brother? Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Teofimo?
Can you hear us?
Sometimes it's the.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah,
yes.
we hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hardly hear you guys.
All right. What about now? Can you hear us now?
Barely.
Can you hear us now? Oh man.
Let's see. Well, how about this? We could hear you loud and clear. First of all, if you could hear my question, first of all, congratulations on getting that bag from Triller. And are you guys excited about the fight with Cambozas?
Listen, I told everybody what we was gonna do. Killers work in silence. And I know my son was worth more than that, and that's why we went that route and we got what we wanted. And there's only going to be bigger things for my son coming up. He's a real champ. We did it the hard way. We did it we didn't take no easy routes to get where we at and to ask what we want. So everything's just beautiful right now.
Absolutely, man. We are very excited for the fight. It's going to be on pay-per-view on Triller. How's Teofimo, man? Is he pumped up? Is he ready to go or what?
We good, man. If you guys give me 5 minutes, I'm going to call you back like in 5 minutes because I can hardly hear you. I don't know what's going on, but let me call you guys back in 5 minutes. You'll be there?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, let me see if I can get the champ in.
All right.
Okay. Well,
you got it.
I'm not going anywhere now, whether it's 11.
I mean, last resort, if you're willing to milk card, we could pass them out the number, you know what I mean? But
put up that picture I just sent you.
Okay.
We got
you. I'll be right back.
I got
All right. We'll be here, brother.
Yeah, the number works. That's why I put up the photo in case you got.
G-Fuck, yeah, I'm going to email you this picture, brother, right?
All right.
Just so you could put it up. He wants it up. And he said we're going to put the champ up. You know what that means, right?
We're going to get Teofimo, the lightweight king, right here.
Oh, man.
That'll be
so let me send you this really quick. Man, that was like, man, I'm glad we didn't wrap it up. I'll tell you right now.
We were right there, too. I was just about to give my final words and close this thing up, man. Well, thank God we didn't, you know?
I sent it to you, brother. Go ahead and put that up.
All right. Let me go ahead and grab that. Email?
Yep.
Okay, it hasn't came through yet. So
I'm gonna put it on Twitter too, just in case.
Okay.
Man, this is epic right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If we get the champ on, hell yeah. Just hang in there with us, guys.
It was my bad too, man. I wasn't checking my phone. Send me that picture.
It's all good. We're going to get it up right now.
If there's any issue, we'll just give them that number, man. Call it, you know what I mean? So, hey, shout out, guy. Go ahead and share this, guys. Let people know. I know a lot of you started leaving because we were wrapping it up. But let people know, man, we're still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're all the way live, like the song says, you know?
Absolutely. I'm going to post it on my thing too. Check it out. I got a thing called a YouTube channel that I could share it on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I should go ahead and change the title too.
So while we're waiting, while the world turns, so that's I guess what we're talking about, guys. We just wanted to make sure that you know, a lot of people get busy in life. You know what I mean? So it's never a guarantee. But we're definitely glad that they're giving us their time to come on. You know what I mean? To talk with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, man, I just want to thank him for coming on, man. I know, like you said, I know he's probably got a lot of shit going on right now. You know, they got a big fight announced, so they're probably gonna be setting up camp and everything. So I'm glad he decided to give us some of his time. You know,
absolutely. People get busy, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these fighters, it's like, hey, remember last? Just look at yesterday. I mean. Jesus, he did it out of the gym. What's up, Amilcar? Out of the gym, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He's like,
what you do. I'm drinking some softer shit from Whole Foods. Passion fruit, head and flour, antioxidant, vitamin D, live probiotic, hard seltzer.
Let me keep an eye on my phone this time. He said it about 5 minutes before we were like, I didn't even know. I wasn't checking my phone.
Fellow Central American, that's going to be more than 5 minutes. So,
well, maybe,
hopefully not.
So I mean, I know we were telling you guys we're wrapping it up. like 50 people left, but I'm sure they'll come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they do. Yeah. If not,
make sure you guys tweet it out, put it on Instagram, share it wherever. Hashtag HCP with a link to the video. You know what I mean? We would definitely appreciate that to get the word out. even if they have to watch it on the replay and all that, right? I'll be right back. I'm gonna refill my Juan Manuel Marquez energy drink.
Right. Here's the thing, man. With Teofimo, big score for them. So obviously, we're gonna ask him that again because he couldn't really hear us. But man, I really want to speak to the champ too. No disrespect to Senior, but I mean, to get that champ on, man, that's big. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's huge for gfunkyboxing, G. I think that's a big right there.
Hey, yeah, I'll take it, man. But yeah, Milcar, God, I was gonna ask you something now, I forgot. But
I thought you were gonna ask me about my drink and where you can get one,
Actually, yeah. I know that you're a vegan, right?
Yes. I eat 100% plant-based, and I try not to harm our little furry friends and fellow creatures out there on this green earth. I got a big soft spot for animals, bro. But yeah. So I've been doing that for a while, and it's been really good for me. And you know what the funny thing is? These days, even if you like meaty things, you don't just want to eat vegetables and fruits and nuts and those kind of stuff. There's so many products out there that mimic chicken, mimic beef. I think the hardest thing for people to mimic, honestly, is fish. But everything else, there's plenty of products out there. Yo, they have chorizo that's fucking plant-based.
I seen that. Man.
That was my granddad's favorite sausage. That and longaniza. So I haven't seen longaniza done as a plant-based, but chorizo's out there. They got it at Whole Foods. They got it at Trader Joe's. They got it at a Target.
I could say, yeah, go ahead and do that Puerto Rican rum if you would like. I didn't even know he was live. I didn't get a notification, but I wanted to ask you. Some of the guys that I remember, back in the day, that were vegan when they fought was Tim Bradley was one of them. But then now I seen what's going on, Lion Killer. Thanks for being here, man.
Valdez, bro.
Valdez was just he just did it. Did you feel like it affected you, your performance, athletic wise, or anything like that?
Yeah, it actually improved me athletically because I started eliminating red meat in my mid-20s. I never really ate that much of it early on, but in my mid-20s, I started to get rid of it. I moved over to just chicken and fish. And then by the time I turned the corner on 30, I decided to just go all the way plant-based. And yeah, I mean, everything improved. Felt better, and not just physically but mentally too.
Yeah. I've been thinking about trying it, man. It's difficult. Was it difficult for you to switch, or
the way to do it, G Funky, is to do it in stages, right? I think anything's tough if you just go cold turkey from something that you're really used to, and so I would start off by knocking out red meat. All right. Then after red meat, knock out chicken, then stick with fish. Right. And then once you've done that, then it's easy to just make the final step towards everything plant. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, my wife still eats chicken and fish, and I just got her some stuff at Whole Foods today, some chicken kind of breast meat thing that's really plant-based, and she says it's good. She likes it. So from what she's seen, so I would definitely say, yeah, just do it in stages. First thing, red meat, knock it out. Stick with turkey and fish and that kind of stuff, and chicken. And then once you get rid of chicken, stick to fish. And once you get rid of fish, maybe stick to shellfish, and then just do it in stages. But the easiest thing to knock out, the first and foremost easiest thing, is actually milk. Go straight to cashew milk, oat milk, soy milk, hemp milk is good too. I've tried that one, and just move towards that and knock out milk. Because honestly, milk is not very good for you, despite what the dairy industry tells us. And it's filled with pus and all kind of nasty shit, all kind of hormones. It's really disgusting, actually.
I need to know all this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
I
had a
don't
glass
even
of milk
have.
a little bit ago.
I don't even drink. I don't even eat dairy already. So
There you
that
go.
would-
So that's
yeah,
there you go. So that's an easy one. Yeah, but
yeah.
that
I don't have dairy or pork in my diet. So those are two things already. You know.
almost all the way there. And the funny thing is about pork, right? I was saying this to somebody the other day. We share more genetically in common with pigs than we do with almost any other animal. We share more in common with pigs than we do with dogs. Like dogs are further from us than pigs. Pigs are also one of the smartest animals. They like got the intelligence of like a 7 or 8 year old human being. Like what we do to pigs is terrible. So
Yeah. Hey, I wasn't ignoring you, Lion Kill. I just seen this comment, but we might have a guest coming on real shortly, man. So you know, we'll get him on, and if we still got time, man, if you're still around, you could jump on. We're just waiting for him to get here. But I remember people saying this, man. I remember back on YouTube, people were saying about Timothy Bradley that's what affected his power. Was like, yeah, he can get cut up and things like that, but because he wasn't eating any like beef or protein like that, that's what affected his power. I mean, do you believe that?
nah, you know who dispelled that? If anyone wants to look it up, look up the movie Game Changers, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger was behind it, and he's plant-based. And he talks about how all that's just fucking marketing and bullshit. All that's just marketing and bullshit. You know, the funny thing is, everything that we get from animals that we eat are things that the animals themselves get from plants. So we eat animals that eat plants pretty much to get the nutrients that the animals get from the plants, right? It's the only thing that happens is that there's obviously compounds that are synthesized in the animals that we get from them. So things like creatine being one of the major ones. But now we can get that in jars and just put it in our smoothies. Like you don't need it to eat an animal to get creatine, right? And there's other stuff too, other amino acids and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's all marketing. I mean, there's a whole industry around the mass slaughter of animals that affects the environment, that affects our health, and we're just like trained and programmed to believe that we need to eat meat, and it's just not the case.
Yeah, exactly.
And Schwarzenegger talked about it. And this is who was stronger than him in his primes.
Not too many people. Although he does tell some stories. I mean, I remember hearing him talking about how strong Wilt Chamberlain was. He worked out with Wilt Chamberlain back in like the 70s. Obviously, Andre the Giant, another guy who he said was just crazy strong, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
but huge as well, you know.
He also said back in the day that like getting blowjobs before competition was like essential to performance. So there's a lot of stuff he said in the past. I think that movie Pumping Iron was like a classic.
Yup. That's right.
Yeah, so guys, we're just waiting for Teofimo Sr. to come back. He came on for a second. He was having some audio issues. He couldn't hear us. Is he going to go to a better
That is like
location?
the biggest issue with StreamYard, man. It heats up phones. It creates delays. Like they gotta improve it a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah. The other option that might work in the future, D, is if people call in on Skype and then we do a screen share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because I've noticed the same thing, and we have a similar issue on our Monday night show with Dave Duenas with something called Ecamm. That you know, if people who watch this probably watch that show too. They'll see me on camera like freezing all the time. It's essentially the same shit.
Because like I see like people do streams on Instagram, it doesn't seem to give as many issues. You know. So
none, but then. Yeah.
Want to thank everybody that's here that's new to the channel. Appreciate you. Hey, subscribe if you like. Hit the like button. We're just waiting. Like I said, we're waiting on Teofimo Sr. To come on. The trainer of the lightweight king of boxing right now. He's gonna. He was on just a few minutes ago. So just bear with us for right now. He's had some audio issues, but he will.
Just told him to cook.
Yeah.
big supporter of HCP.
Yes, exactly. And his son is the Hispanic causing panic of the year last year. We picked him the HCP Hispanic causing panic of the year. Big win for him. He upset Lomachenko, who a lot of guys were considering top 3 pound for pound. And let me tell you guys something, man. D-Style and I, we got a lot of shit leading up into that fight. Because we were saying for months that he was going to beat him, man. And let me tell you, guys were coming around trolling, talking a lot of shit, So we had fun with them. That was a good time right there, man.
Yeah. I know, like, this reminds me of, like, whenever like my sister wants me to go help her out with something, and she'll call me like, "Where are you?" And like, I'll lie. I don't know why. I don't even know why I do it. Like, I'm like, "Oh, I'm down the street, like just 3 minutes away," but I'm still home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 10 minutes away from where I said I was. You know what I mean? But I do it. I don't know why I do it, but I do it.
Yeah. The GOAT says, Teofimo El Niño de Oro. Yeah, he could be the next golden boy. I mean, he's looking pretty golden right there in that picture. Right. Got a lot of hardware there, man. Dude, I almost knocked over my camera right now. That would have been crazy.
I'll send you a text, you funky.
How does Teo have 2 Ring Magazine belts? That's interesting.
That's a good question. Hey, if we get him on, we'll definitely have to ask him that,
Yeah, that's true. I just noticed that.
I understand the 2 WBC titles because one is the one that Suleiman gave him after the win and told him he's the real WBC champion, and the other is the franchise title.
Okay.
But the 2 Ring Magazine ones, yeah, that's interesting.
Now, that was a picture that he took and sent me, by the way. So that's great. That's a great picture.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say that the WBO is the only belt that's not present there. Could have been one to put around the waist, man. If you guys were in that position of Teofimo right there with all those belts, which one would you have around your waist? Like, would that be the most meaningful one, the one you put around your waist if you were in a picture?
Now, you know what? To me, bro, and have you ever noticed the sanctioned bodies try to get the chest first? It sticks out. Like when you're doing the interviews, it's right here. You know what I mean? You have to cross your chest and stuff, and you still got the belt. You know what I mean? And the way the WBC designed it, they made it where you could actually put it kind of like a shield, like across your chest, how they designed it. You know what I mean? And that's usually the WBC started strategically putting the belt there. But now, like, you'll see the presidents of each sanctioned body try to get to the chest first, because that right here across the chest, because that's the one that they try to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I would always tell myself, like, if I had all those belts like that, the one that I liked the most, or the one that was the most important to me, would go right around the waist, and then the next 2 would go on the shoulders, or maybe even crisscross, But if we could get them on, we'll ask them that for sure, man. But hopefully they do come on. You just never know, man. This is what happens when you go live, baby. You just never know.
That trainer belt is too. That one that Teofimo Sr. has. The little
I seen that. Yeah.
The square belt.
I like that belt.
The logo. Like that too. It like kind of made the towel around the shoulder.
Yeah.
Is that true, LT? The franchise belt is dead?
Nah. I mean,
Puerto Rican Rum says that the Ring Magazine belt would be the most important to him. Crisscross like Pancho Villa. Yeah, with the bullets there.
I mean, it's like this. Like Ward had the WBA, I believe, but then like the one that he really, really wanted was the green belt. So when he beat Frotz for it, he said, "That's the one I want." So everyone has the belt that they want. Like
the funny thing is, I always hear people say that about the green belt and I have heard it about the Ring Magazine belt. I'm going to be honest. I haven't heard anybody say that about the IBF belt, the WBO belt, or the WBA belt. And definitely not the IBO belt. But,
once in a while, somebody will say like the WBA is the oldest and most meaningful, blah 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 blah. But it's only as meaningful as the guy that's holding it. You know what I mean? At that time.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah, we're gonna get that in a couple months on Theo Undisputed at 140, and we'll ask him about that too if he comes on. If they plan on,
So he just texted me, guys. He said, "Give him 5 minutes." He just texted me right now.
all right, that's cool.
All right, give him 5 minutes. So
that's like when I'm barely leaving the house. You know what I mean? And I called my sister, like, "Yeah, I'm like right there." Like, you said you were down the corner. Like, yeah, I was, but traffic. Like,
yeah.
You know what's crazy?
Hey, I gotta step out real quick, so go ahead and take over, D-Style.
Well, just keep in mind that you're the only one that could bring him up, brother. Well,
I'll be right back. Yeah.
If he's backstage, I can't do anything about it. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, I won't be long. I'll be right back.
All right. Cool. Oh man, hey, it looks awesome on my TV, man, because I have the TV on.
Oh, that's cool.
I
watching
wanted to zoom in some more, but like I wanted to show all the belts. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So, but he's keeping contact. So
looks like a high res photo too.
Yeah. He sent me that. He said he texted me the real. I can show you guys. The real champ. You guys still on? He sent me that picture. You know what I mean? And I missed it because I was.
You're cooking live on HCP Uncensored, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm back. I told you I wouldn't be long, baby.
Well, because I was like, I can't do anything about it if he shows up. Like I'm just like here.
LT says. Facts. Canelo is running the sport.
Facts. Gotta put the f in it. Facts.
Boxing historian here says the WBA and the WBC are the only ones that really matter. Those are the oldest. Yeah, the two oldest ones. Although people have really taking a liking to the WBC. I mean, that seems to be the one that most people seem to like to go after. Like when we seen Valdez when he talked about I want that green belt, and a lot of people say that about the belt. I don't know if it's the color of it.
The other belt should change the look. Like you think they need a revamped look? Do you think that's what it is?
Because
the other ones just look too alike to me. Like they're just like the strap is just a different color or something. Like they just look the same. Like the mirrors on the side and like a plate in the middle with a crown on top. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I noticed since we've been on quarantine for so long? I've been watching a lot of older fights, and not really that much old. I'm talking about less than 20 years. You'll notice they do change like little tiny stuff on all these belts, the littlest things, about them. You just have to kind of look real closely at the belts. You know what I'm saying?
The WBC definitely updated their designs the most, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they went from like a darker green earlier on to this kind of lighter green. And let's be honest, even their fake ass belts are pretty lit. Like the Maya belt, remember that one? They had the Maya, the Aztec belt, like all of their belts.
You know what it is with those? Like I don't really get mad about those. Those are like trophies.
Yeah, but they're nice designs, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
WBA and the IBF, those aren't really nice designs. They're just like, whatever. Yeah. I mean, the belt that they sell at like Untitled Boxing is like just as good as that. The Ring Magazine obviously is iconic too.
Yeah,
it's right there. If you wanna, I'm gonna have that image ready just in case you funky. So it's already there.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it backstage
Cool.
right now. I got it right there.
Cool.
Santeo says the Ring Magazine belt. Does it remind anyone of the championship belt in Rocky? Yeah, it does.
Absolutely. And it's very similar to the Lonsdale belt, which is historic out there in England and in the UK. The British title, it's got the same look.
Run PMC says, I prefer the real and original belt in boxing, the regular WBA belt, the first sanctioning body in the World Championship. Yeah, that's what they say, man. Anything to take away credit from Teofimo Lopez. It's sad, man, that they do stuff like that. The regular, the one that Tank has is the real one. Like
yeah, okay.
There's always haters. I mean, there was people who were basically saying that Vladimir Klitschko needed to beat Povetkin to be like the legit WBA champion. It's like, just stop.
Dude, there was people saying this. I swear to God. Anthony Joshua is a paper champion.
Yeah.
Because he didn't beat Tyson Fury for his because he didn't beat Tyson Fury for the belts or Klitschko. That made him a paper champion, Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff that these guys do,
Yeah, I mean, if you're biased against somebody, you're gonna extend that false logic to no end.
Yep. I mean, trust me, guys. I got the receipts. They said that Tyson Fury was a better opponent than Anthony Joshua for Deontay Wilder because Joshua won vacant belts. He didn't beat Klitschko for him or Tyson Fury for him, even though Tyson Fury vacated them, So
you see that sofa behind me here in my den, right?
Mm-hmm.
To do like a psych session. We get one of these guys on the couch and just do like a psychology therapy session with them. Just talk them through their shit.
Yeah.
And do a video of it on YouTube.
That would be good. Okay, I think we got him on here. Let's see.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. We got him.
Todo el mundo está bien allá. ¿Qué pasa, amigos? ¿Cómo estamos?
Bien, gracias.
Bien.
Don Lopez.
Yeah, you got to give some respect to the best trainer in the world, please. Do not disrespect the best trainer in the world right now, okay? 2020, baby. Best trainer in the world right now.
The takeover.
That's right. That's all I wear in my freaking head. Teofimo Lopez right there, baby.
Don Teofimo Lopez. Thank you.
If you guys want any gear, anything, go to at Teofimo Lopez on Instagram, wherever the hell it is, and you can get the nice gears, man. We got some beautiful gears right now. So happy about what just happened, and I told everybody, like I said, I told everybody, we was coming back with something big, the funniest thing about this whole situation is like how they trying to degrade my son's figures by going from 6.2 million to like maybe $800,000, which is fucking funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Listen, none of these cats has gotten that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? And you know who I'm talking about. So, for us to be in a position like this, and people don't even know the clauses in the contract, what we're going to get, we might get other things that people don't even understand. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? To be in a platform like this with Thriller and for them to show everybody the value that my son has is very important. We love Top Rank. We love ESPN. They gave us the platform for us to succeed and do the things that we're doing right now. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it wrong. Nobody did shit for us. We promoted our own selves. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have no Floyd Mayweather next to us. We didn't have no Roy Jones next to us. We didn't have no Oscar de la Hoya, no Canelo. We didn't have none of those cats. We did this shit on our own selves because real recognizes real. And we did it the real way. We fought the guys we had to fight. This fight with Kambosos is a mandatory. So if this fight with Kambosos is a mandatory, and we're gonna lose the IBF. We don't want to do that. We want to go back to back being undisputed. You know, my son is chasing greatness. You know, we're going after Josh Taylor or Jose Ramirez after this. You know, we being threatened. I'm not gonna say who's threatening us, but that's the fight the people want to see, and that's the fight that we looking for. We're not overlooking Kambosos. He's a great fighter. He has done a lot of good things in boxing. He beat 2 world champions. I cannot say the same for a lot of other cats that haven't even fought top 10 dudes, you know. So, you know, all I speak is facts and all I speak is truth. You know, there's no lying in my voice. I never want to lie. If my son sucks, he sucks, and I wouldn't be in this position. You know, but when it comes to saying the truth, bro, you got to say the truth, man. You know, and I'm just sick and tired of the lies that everybody's ducking such and such. Everybody's ducking this guy, ducking this guy. You know, when you fight 3 guys back to back, and even Magdaleno was a top 10 dude when we fought him. You know, and then we got Nakatani, we got Richard Comey, and we got Lomachenko. We got back to back killers, winners. You know, Nakatani already did his job and beat Verdejo. You know, knocked his ass out. And Comey did his job too, you know, on a guy with Mariñez that everybody said that he lost to, Rolando Romero had lost to. So, I mean, these guys are doing great things. I hope this kid, Devin Haney, takes this fight with Loma. I want to see that. I want to see that. But I guarantee you, they're going to say that Loma ducked. Man, you know, how long is this bullshit going to last, bro?
You know, I seen Bill Haney today on a channel here saying that you guys are ducking the rematch with Loma. I mean, this is crazy, man.
Bro, listen, one thing I tell my son, and even Floyd did it in his prime. Floyd never ducked nobody because he didn't have to give a rematch to nobody. You know, I mean, when he gave the rematch to Castillo was because a lot of people saw him losing. I mean, how are you gonna win a fight when you lost almost like you know, you lost almost every round in the fight? I had my son only losing the 11th round. That's the only round I had him losing. One thing about boxing is you got to understand about boxing. You got to look at the fighter that's dictating the fight. You got to look at the fighter that's doing the most out of the round. You know, it's a 3-minute round. It's not a 5-second round. It's not a 7-second round, you know. And you know, anybody that want to fucking tell me difference is because they're haters. Lomachenko didn't do nothing in the 9th round. He didn't do shit in the 10th round. The only round that he went back to back was the 11th round. So I could give him that round. You know, that's the only round I could give it to him. And then the 12th round, we blew him away. Now, for people that say is that Loma took the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th round is fucking bullshit. There's some people even said that he took the 12th round, you know. So I really don't give a damn what people think. I know what I see. You know, my son has won his only 4 fights that he has not won by knockout. He has won by unanimous decision, and it's been by 1 or 2 rounds, you know. So, you know, and with great fighters, it's not like we fighting bums. You know, this cat Kambosos is calling my son pork chop. Oh my God, he doesn't even know what he's getting himself into, bro. And you know, I feel pity for him, bro. You know, I mean, what my son is gonna do to this cat, bro. I mean, he's gonna be happy, you know, after he wakes up wherever the fuck he's gonna be waking up at, and he's gonna be happy because you know whoever's with him is gonna say, "Yo, but at least you got $2 million," you know. And you know, and that's what boxing is all about, man. Trying to help the people, you know. George Kambosos, instead of him talking all that bullshit that he's talking about, all this kid is saying is he's been sparring Pacquiao all his life. And who the fuck is Pacquiao, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's like Pacquiao's been a decorated fighter all his life, you know. But my son is another different killer. My son ain't no Manny Pacquiao, and this ain't fucking sparring, bro. You know, and he already got inside my skin, so he's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. He got inside my skin. I thought this guy was gonna be humble like Nakatani, where I didn't even beef a lot with Nakatani, but now he's taking it to another level. So you know what? I'm gonna be in his fucking ears all the way until he gets knocked out. You know, he just messed with the wrong person.
Aren't they better off if they just don't talk trash, just stay humble the whole way? You know, they have a better shot that way, no?
But it's not about being humble. It's about, believing in yourself. And, if he does believe that he could beat my son, oh, great, because then there's going to be a fight. I don't want this shit to be like the Loma fight where Loma was scared to fight my son, but at the end of the day, like Mike Tyson said, it's all talk until you feel the punch, and once he's in there in that ring with my son, he's going to understand this shit. There's levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's nowhere near to our level. He beat what? He beat a freaking featherweight in Leo Selby, and a lot of people had him losing that fight. So, I don't really care what anybody says. They have to say that, because they're scared. They're all scared, man. Just look at my son. I sent you the picture.
Yeah.
You see all those belts? Nobody has done that. Nobody.
You're gonna have to hire somebody to carry them. You need somebody to carry all those three guys.
Wait. Let me send you another picture from the hotel lobby where I had to get a cart to take these belts in. Watch. Let me send it to you.
I'll put it up for sure.
Yeah, wait. Let me send it to you. Hold on. Don't move.
Yeah.
This is
we're
funny,
good. We're good.
Well, I sent it to you guys.
We want to ask you about these belts.
I had to get a card. I actually had to get a card to get all these belts. Into the fucking hotel, man. It's just ridiculous. Let me see if I can find you guys.
You go to 140, you're gonna need 2 cards.
Yeah.
What is your number? Give me the first 3 numbers from your phone.
It's a 915 area code.
Hello. Okay, I got you.
I texted you just in case, but yeah.
But we were looking at this picture.
Now put this picture up. Put this picture up right now.
Waiting for it.
So you guys know what I'm talking about.
We were looking at that picture that we just had on, and we were wondering. He's got 2 Ring Magazine belts. What's the difference between the 2?
Well, one is a lenient belt, right?
Oh.
And the other, I really don't know what's the other one, but I know that I know we have the lenient belt. I know that Canelo has one. I know Josh Taylor has one. I think Tyson Fury has one.
Yeah,
and
Tyson.
that's about it. That's about it. So
I
those belts are very hard to have, man. And all of these young cats that are coming up, they wish they had this belt. They wish they had the lenient belt, because that shows you that he's the recognized champion. He's the recognized best fighter at the 135 weight division. Listen, they're trying to make this seem like nothing ever happened. They're trying to make it seem like my son never won anything. We did something that has never been done. We undisputed the 135 weight division, and it's on the books. That's why they named me Coach of the Year. On the top two things, every other shit doesn't even matter, but I got nominated for Trainer of the Year, with Ring Magazine, which is the top one, and the Boxing Writers Association Awards. So, I'm going to be giving a speech, you haters. I'm going to be giving a speech in October with all the greats, when Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones Jr., and all these guys are going to be inductees, to the Hall of Fame. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be talking to these guys. That's a dream come true right there, talking to the greats, in boxing that did it the real way. They did it the right way. All this social media stuff is just killing the sport. It's killing the sport.
Hey, Senior, if you guys go to 140 and collect those belts, that cart's not big enough. You're going to need another cart.
Yeah.
Like a bigger one. You're going to break the wheels on the cart.
I don't even got to do I don't got to even do nothing, bro, because I know that God is leading the way. He's putting everything like a chess match. He's putting all the positions in the right way. Where we're gonna get all these things, it's gonna be given to us. I don't even got to do nothing. All I did was train this man. I trained my son to be a great kid, a great person. He's married. He doesn't party. He doesn't go out. He's not in trouble. So I'm very happy the way he's being raised. He's got a beautiful wife in Cynthia. She's I'm telling you something. She's been supportive all her life with him, and I got nothing but love for Cynthia and for him and the things that they are doing together. If it wasn't for her being around him, I don't know what would have happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very happy that he's married. I'm happy that that he's not doing all these crazy things these guys are doing, wearing all these jewelries and all these rented freaking Rolls Royces that they rent every day. Trying to show the world that they got money they don't even have. So, and it's gonna stay like that. We're gonna always be humble, bro. Because I told my son that. I still got my money in the bank from the last pay that I got. Shit, I be shopping at Ross, bro. I be shopping at Marshalls. Shit, I don't go to no fucking Gucci store because you know what? I was raised different. I'm from the streets, bro. And if I give somebody a shirt that's gonna cost me the same shit for less in Ross, and give it to the Gucci store, then I'm gonna feel like like I got taken off. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to feel like that. And it's not about the money; it's about the principle. I'd rather feed my family than give somebody $500 for a shirt, or give somebody $500 for a champagne bottle when I could give it to my granddaughter. By the way, I'm a granddaddy 2 times, baby, 2 times.
Yeah.
I got two beautiful daughters. I mean granddaughters, and I said daughters because I feel like they're my daughters. The Lopez family is just growing. And I can't wait, man, because we're doing a lot of big things.
It sounds like everything is all good now. I mean, I remember when your son fought Nagatani, ESPN did a big piece about how there was some issues there, but it sounds like everything is all worked out now, man, and that's great.
Yeah, listen, we love ESPN. We love Top Rank, but listen, if we could get more money on another platform, why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean, my son risks his life every day in the ring. Every day he's in the ring risking his life every time he goes in there and fight. You never know if he doesn't see a punch coming and it's gonna, destroy his whole career. We taking chances in there. The promoters are always gonna be there. The managers are always gonna be there. Everybody's always gonna be there. The fighters, they have a short life, and if you don't capitalize, how you say it?
Capitalize.
Capitalize on what you could earn at an early age, because I don't want him fighting for the rest of his life. Then it's good for us, as fathers that we are and as traders that we are. We would never want to see our kids being hurt, and it's just a business. And if we have to hurt somebody, we have to hurt somebody because it's the fighting game, and that's how it is. So I'm very proud of him. He's making the right decisions, and he has his father that that's always there to support him.
Absolutely. So the Triller card, man, we know your son is going to be on it. Have you heard anything, any rumors of any other fights that could be on the undercard?
My son is not going to be on it. My son is the main event. My son is the card. We're not gonna be no undercard or no YouTubers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My son is gonna be the main event, and that's all I care about. He's very strong about that. He believes in it. And we're gonna have some good fighters in that card. We might even have it might be a Hispanic night. We might have Belong on the undercard. Well, you don't know who we might have on the undercard. So, we going on the works. I'm over here, doing everything right with my son, conducting business. And let's see what happens. It's what I'm telling you is gonna be the biggest show in this year.
you know.
Yeah, Hispanics causing panic, man, for sure.
That's right.
You know, the reason why I say things about my son's wife is because he's keeping him out of trouble. That's what I believe. You know, being married is a good thing because that's what kept me out of trouble, being married, you know. And I just got so much respect for that, you know. But I mean, the true people that got my son where he's at is my mother. I mean, my wife working overnights in a bar, you know, bartending, me working limos and still being able to be there for him. So, you know, it was a struggle. You know, people think this was easy, man. It took 19 years to do this, you know, nonstop, not 1 week off, not 1 week off the gym. You know, I had to beg my my boss all the time when there was a Saturday night fight and I had to be there. And sometimes he wouldn't let me go because, you know, I was just a worker. So, you know, it was very hard. It was hard times when I had to be like on the phone, you know, on FaceTime or something, you know, and giving instructions to somebody that was in the corner. Oh, I tell him to this, tell him to this, you know. So it was really hard getting to where we got. You know, it was never easy, man. You know, we came from nothing and look where we at now.
Right.
You know,
enjoy it,
but
man. Enjoy
one thing
it.
I tell you, if it wasn't for that lady that supported me, which is my wife, Jenny Lopez, this would have never happened. This would have never happened, you know, and she got only but love for her son, you know, and she's out of the picture. Like nobody mentions her, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it hurts me because she was there to do everything for us. She was always there for my son. She always worked for us, you know, even though she was in the gym all the time, but she was supporting us, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the kind of, you know, I've been with this woman for 32 years. 32 years, bro.
Wow, that's
you know,
great.
and I only have kids with her, nobody else. So, you know, it's just a blessing to be able to be supported. I mean, none of this could have happened without the Lopez family. You know, that's what I'm saying. And, you know, I just wish my son the best. And we're doing great things, man. And this is just the beginning, man. I mean, this is just the beginning. At 23 years old,
23.
16 fights. You know how hard it's going to be for somebody to break that record? I don't think, I mean, nobody was able to undispute the 135 weight division. We did it. We did it. There's nobody else bigger than Lomachenko in that weight division. They were scared to fight him, and we took him with only 16 fights. All these kids got more fights, and they haven't done shit. You know, and it's just ugly, bro. I mean, is it because I'm a Latino? I don't know what it is, man. But you know what, bro? We all the same, bro. We all the same, bro. I was raised with black people. I was raised with Latinos. I was raised with Haitian. I was raised with every kind of people in the world. I was from Brooklyn. You know how it is. And we never saw anybody like that. You know, we was always hanging out together. I just want to tell the whole world, man, everybody got to stick together and stop all this, you know, Latino, blacks, and who's better and this and that. You know, everybody's the same, man. You know, that's why. But right now, Hispanics are causing panic.
Yeah,
Hispanics are causing panic.
That's right. That's right,
man.
I want to ask you, when did you, was it a surprise to you, like the Triller bid? Did that catch you by surprise?
Of course not. We already knew because, listen, I know what my son is worth. You know, a lot of people didn't know. That's why the Zone, I think, bid at 3.5. They thought they had it. You know, they never expected Twitter to come in. I never expected them to come in. Nobody knew anything. Well, at least I didn't know anything. But when it came, when it came through, come on, man. We just beat the best fight in the world. You think anything else is gonna amaze me? Nothing.
So what do you think, Don Lopez, was the reason for kind of the negativity that we first heard after that bid? Because at the end of the day, what Teo and you did is historic. You know, you cleaned out 135, right? And then
Changed the game.
Changed the game. And then as a 23-year-old, your son took his destiny into his own hands and gambled on himself and didn't accept a minimum contractual obligation and said, you know what, I'm worth a lot more than that minimum. let's see if anybody will bid higher, and they did. So that was a tremendous achievement. What do you think is the reason behind some of the negativity that we've been hearing about, your son and this bid, and even people saying, oh, it's bad for boxing? I'm specifically referencing Top Rank. I personally, I don't quite understand it, so I'm wondering if you can help provide some perspective on that.
All right, it's a simple answer. First of all, my son fought Lomachenko for pennies. Okay, we were supposed to get $3 million for Lomachenko. It was in the works. The amount was I think at 2.8 million to fight him on May 30th. Then the COVID hit us. That's another thing that I always tell everybody. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I ask questions and they like stupid ass questions. Because my son, when he was in the amateurs, he never won the big fights. He never won the nationals. Like to go travel to Russia and all that. And I would ask God, he's better than all these guys. Why are they doing this to us? And I will always question God. Why is this happening to me? Especially when you have to go to a fight week tournament where you got to fight every day and you lose the first day.
Absolutely.
And then you got to sit there because you're being sponsored. So you got to fly, on a Sunday. So then you got to stay there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, watching all these guys get what I wanted my son to get and realizing my son is a better fighter than these guys. Why are you doing this to me, God? So I would question him a lot of times. So what happened was, the last year, he came and gave him everything. In the last year, he beat guys that had already 3 gold medals, 4 gold medals, and he beat everybody the last year. The year that we had to, the year that you were supposed to do something, that's the year that we beat everybody that was fighting internationally. So my son never went internationally. He only fought in Canada and he won over there. But like he never flew to like Russia and all these countries. So what God told me was like, let me work, and he beat like 25. He won 25 straight fights to win the Olympic trials, the Olympic qualifiers, the Golden Glove Nationals. In that year alone, he beat everybody, and we won the Olympic trials. It's the biggest thing you could win in boxing in the amateurs, to represent the USA. And then other shit came around, where they already had named somebody else, which it had never happened since 1904, I heard. 1904. This has never happened. When you win Olympic trials, you represent the United States in the Continentals. But you got to win the Continentals, at first or second spot, so you could go to the Olympics. We did that. So when they told me that Carlos Banderas took the position, I told my son, you know what, man, let's just get out of here because you're not number 2, bro. We won this. And they didn't even give him a trophy. They didn't give him nothing in the Olympic trials. They only gave the other 9 fighters, because it's 10 fighters, the trophies and everything. And my son had to sit there and watch this. He even cried with Andre Ward, because Andre Ward was there that night, and my son said, I won everything and they didn't give it to me. That is that is our dream here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? That's our dream, to do something and get what you're worth. But we didn't do it. We didn't get it. So we had to go. And I told my son, you know what? Let's just tell Honduras to get you, bro. They'll get you. They didn't want to let him go, but we fought legally and we got him. We got him to fight for Honduras. He did his dream. He went and fought in Honduras, for Honduras in Rio. And they robbed us the first day. And you can see that fight because it's up there on YouTube.
Yeah.
We beat that dude, bro. And that dude won the silver medal. And you know who beat him? Conceição, a guy that nobody even freaking talks about.
Yeah.
A guy that has a guy from Brazil. Yeah, the guy from Brazil. So, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you this, man, because there's nothing better than a win that ages well, and I mean, we have a situation where, I mean, Comey beats Martinez, Nakatani beats Verdejo. We have yet to see what Lomachenko's going to do next. You know, it's kind of like you keep winning. You know, like the winning doesn't stop. You know, because is that why you guys were excited when Comey won against Martinez? Because I saw you excited on TV.
Not at all. The thing, this is what it is, man. So I'm telling you all this, right? Right? But you don't see behind the lines. You don't see what I'm talking about because you don't see it. We had to break walls to get where we at, man. It wasn't easy. So when it's not easy, that means you're a real one. You're a real one. When it's not easy, it's not given to you, bro. It's real. And that's what we did, right? So to me, it was like just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. You know why we went over there to the locker room and hug Kobe? You know why we did that? Because he was a humble guy. He took his loss the right way. You know, he was never fighting. He was never cursing at us. He was never telling us that he was gonna beat the shit out of us or nothing. I mean, his trainer did more talking than he did.
Yeah, Andre Rozier.
You know, exactly. So that guy was not the kind of guy that I would talk down to or with. You know, like you never saw me talking dirty to him or going crazy on him. You know, another guy was Nagatani. That was another guy that was very humble. So why can't we just go over there and salute somebody? Yep. You know, and then you see the hate because all these freaking prejudiced people started saying, oh, all he needs to do is kiss a little black kid now. You know what I'm saying? What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's foul.
You know, like
that's foul.
Like everybody was like, oh, he went to go do all that stuff just because he wanted to show the whole world that you know, if Comey beat this guy really bad, that he beat a real champion. Comey was always a real champion. That's why he was a champion.
Yeah.
You know, he beat Beltran. He beat a lot of good fighters to get where he's at. And the two losses that he had, you know, they were like, they could have went either way. Yeah. You know, so we gave a respect to a champ. I would never do that shit with, you know, who.
Lomachenko.
I'm tired of naming names. Lomachenko's a real champion. Lomachenko's a real champion. You know, I don't take nothing away from Lomachenko. He's a diva, but he's a real champion. You know, and we had to bring him back to earth, bro. And I told him, I'm gonna bring you back to earth, bro. You know, but I think he learned. I think he learned from this fight. I think he learned where we came from. We came from nothing. He was a decorated. I mean, I don't take nothing away from him. He was a decorated amateur boxer. He was the best, one of the best that ever did it. You know, and he did it the right way. He fought the best, and he beat the best. And the guy that beat him, he got a revenge, and he beat him bad twice. So it's like he never lost in the amateurs. You know, for us to beat this dude and take his 2 gold medals, because we took those 2 gold medals. We got our revenge back from amateurs. You know, we got it back. And that night was the best night of my life because, you know, they really hurt me when they robbed him in the Olympics. I mean, I was going crazy. You know, and I told my son, they will pay one day. They will pay one day. Yeah. AIVA doesn't exist no more. They're gone. Yeah. You know, they're gone because they fired all the 36 judges in the Olympics when you know, so you know that was all bullshit. Name me one gold medalist in the Olympics of 2016 that's doing something right now.
Not even
name me one.
Not even Tony Yoka, the super heavyweight from France.
One.
Yeah.
Tell me, name me one. None.
I mean,
none.
Even
because they all bought. There was always bought. All those medals were bought.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we're doing it. You know, we're doing what we're doing right now because God put walls on us. And when God does that, it's not because he doesn't like you. It's not because he wants to destroy you. It's because he wants you to be better. And when I understood that, and even though I'm still hard-headed because I was like, why COVID, man? Why now, bro? Why? Yeah. Now we're not going to get all the 4 belts. What's going on? Boom, he gives it back to me. You know, so I'm tired. I'm done with asking God any questions anymore. You know, from now on, I'm just going to do what I got to do with my son, and I'm going to let him work, you know. And that's why we're getting all these blessings, man. We're doing it the right way. We're doing it the real way. And you know what? fake would only last so long. You know, I mean, fake only lasts so long, and I know all these people are fake because they lie every time they talk. They lie, bro, and I know what's going on, and they lie to me right in my face. So to me, I know that it's gonna be easy at the long run. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about, man. And I got nothing against Top Rank, but come on, man. When you go on live TV and you said, "Oh, we got our three best, our three best fighters in what you call it, Nick Collin, Quincy Cow, and Shakur Stevenson," and they don't even name my son when he was an Olympian. I mean, it was already bad beef from the beginning.
Well, even now, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. Look, I'm based out of the Bronx, New York. I'm actually Comey's from my neighborhood, and I was at that fight. I was at the Maynard fight. I was at actually most of your fights out here in the Garden. But the last time I've seen Top Rank treat a fighter this way after a big win, honestly, was back in 2013 when Rigo
Rigondeaux
and beat Donade, who at that time was being promoted much in the same way as Lomachenko was being promoted as the pound for pound king. And it seemed like he upset plans. And after that, it seemed like there was a lot of negativity coming from the promoter. Now, what I want to ask you is, do you see you guys having a positive relationship after this Triller deal with Top Rank and going back with them and doing like multiple fights in the future?
Listen, I mean, to my knowledge, you know, they didn't give him no respect to him when he won the fight. Nobody went to the press conference. No, there was not one person there from Top Rank in the press conference. It was like a funeral.
That's
you know, so it was a disrespect. We don't have nothing against them. You know, I love Bob. You know, I try to make Bob feel proud of us. I'm always calling him, telling him, "Oh, you look what my son did, this and that. My son's gonna be the next Manny Pacquiao." From the beginning, I told him like 4 years ago. I told him that. He never believed in me, and we're doing it. It's not my fault that my son is better than all these guys. You know, I hope our relationship works out. I hope that from now on, Bob makes the right decisions and sees my son like what he is, a champion. And I just hope that everybody gets along, man. You know, I think we have a chance. You know, I think we have a chance, and I think that only time will tell. You know, we're here, we're Top Rank, and we are ESPN all the time. You know, it just happened. This deal couldn't go through. You know, not all the deals are gonna go through. Not everything's gonna work out the same way, and we're just hoping that it does because we love the ESPN platform and we love Bob Arum's platform. I mean, you know, I talk to him all the time. You know, he talks to me because I'm more understanding than my son is. But I mean, when you start hurting my son the way you are, you got to stop. You got to stop. It's got to come to a time where you got to appreciate what you have and move on. I think that if he considers my son to be the best, which he is, he will have another Manny Pacquiao in his hand, and probably even better.
Yeah, I really want it to work out for one reason, man, because you guys have another golden opportunity at 140. Both guys are top-ranked fighters to become undisputed. You could be undisputed in 2 divisions in less than 20 fights. That would be a tremendous accomplishment. I don't think anybody's ever seen something like that before, you know?
That's what we're chasing. That's what we're chasing, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't want our relationship to break because I don't even care about the money. All we care about is the titles and the legacy. And I want my son to be better than any fighter that ever lived. You know, that's every father's dream, you know. And you can't take that away from me. I don't want to be a Floyd Mayweather. I don't want to be a Roy Jones Jr. I don't want him to be a Mike Tyson. I want him to be Teofimo Lopez, the best that ever lived. You know what I'm saying? That's my dream, you know, and why not? You know, why? Why not? You know? And hopefully, you know, the people is always gonna want him to fight. So, you know, I know Josh Taylor wants to fight him. I don't know about Jose Ramirez because Jose Ramirez is already saying that he's gonna move up to 147. So, you know. And anyway, I got Josh Taylor winning that fight. So let's see what happens. Yeah, and you know what? I'm just gonna leave it to God, man. And if it wasn't meant to be, it's not meant to be. We already did something great by winning. You know, being undisputed at 135 weight division, which nobody has ever done it. You know, and for us to do it, it's just unbelievable. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It is, man.
You know, but no, for me, man, I don't got no hatred over nobody, man. You know, it's just the bad decisions that people are making, and they don't understand they're gonna grow even bigger, because when you have Teofimo Lopez by your side, you're gonna have it all. You know, you're gonna have it all. You might not have it right now, but sooner or later, you're gonna be getting those 20 million, those 40 million fights, those $100 million fights. You know, and you just gotta work with him. You know, my son is, you know, I don't tell my son what to do. I just tell him what's right. You know, and he listens. You know, I just hope this fight. I just hope this fight does good, and I know it is. You know, so the whole world will know that my son is entertainment in boxing. That he's the only one doing it the right way. You know, he entertains the crowd, and that's what it's all about, man. In boxing, you gotta entertain. You can't be doing the same shit over and over again. You gotta do different things in there. And that's why I teach my son. I teach my son different things. That's why everybody's with their eyes open. They're not even watching the freaking phone. They're not even looking at their phones. They just look at the fights. Look at the fights when my son fights. Nobody's looking at the phone. Everybody's just sharp looking at him, because any time, any second is lights out.
With the left, with the right, with
It doesn't matter.
with the right hand.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So speaking of,
you know, we bring
fights,
the whole arsenal, and one thing that we don't do, we don't run. We come forward. We come to take the fight from the beginning. From the beginning, you know, we don't take our time in one round. Okay, let me figure this guy out. No, he comes right at you, and that's what makes him so dangerous. You know.
I think what Top Rank is missing is the following. They haven't been able to witness this because of the COVID thing going on. But once COVID starts to go away, man, and people start showing, like the Latinos especially, start showing up to your son's weigh-ins, and they start witnessing that, I think Bob's going to realize that, you know what, I should have been behind.
Listen, we did, listen to me. We broke records, bro. We did 4.2 million the first night, bro, with ESPN. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. Add to your point, I heard this kid, Devontae Davis, whatever his name is, that's with Floyd. I heard he did 120,000 views on pay-per-view. That don't make you a pay-per-view star.
Sure doesn't.
No,
being on pay-per-view don't make you a pay-per-view star.
And I want to add to your point, Mr. Lopez. If I'm like, just to add to your point, what people need to understand about the 4 million, because that was with ESPN Plus and ESPN, that was after boxing was on for 3 hours. The views doubled once your son fight started. You know, usually there's a college game or something before a main event, and that's why they get most of those views are carryover views. Your son's fight, there was boxing on for 3 hours, and then the fight started and the ratings went up.
Thank you. So you know, everybody want to watch him. You know what I'm saying? And what you think? Do you think Thriller is gonna make a mistake? These guys know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing, you know, and they're gonna make their money, you know, and this fight is gonna go in history, man, because we're gonna bring the numbers, you know, and that night my son will be pay-per-view king. I'm guaranteeing you that. And it's not gonna be 2 million views. You know, it's not gonna be 100, it's not gonna be 120,000 views. You know, so, and we don't need no Floyd Mayweather or Roy Jones Jr. to back us up, or, you know, or Oscar De La Hoya or Canelo or whatever these guys have, you know. We're doing it by ourselves, man. And you know what? Real recognizes real. And in this world, if you're not real, fake would always catch up to you, baby. It's gonna catch up to you, you know. You know, I'm tired of naming names because it's just giving them people clout. I'm just saying the truth, you know. There's no lying in me, ever, you know. Not in this game. You know, I might lie to my wife. You know, I might tell her, "Oh, I'm not doing this." You know, but but I'm, you know how it is. But I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
lie to the boxing world. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
I know
lie to
what
the
you
boxing
mean.
world. You
I
know,
I know
my
what you
son
mean,
wouldn't
man.
be in this predicament. You know, he wouldn't be in this predicament if I knew he was fake. I would never do that. It's
Yeah.
disgusting, bro. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep at night. I wouldn't be able to, wash my face in the morning and watch myself in the mirror. It's disgusting. And I don't know how these people do it, man. And it's all about the money. That's what it's all about, man. You know, and I hate, first is about legacy, man. You know, a lot of people forgetting that, and there's people, I mean, there's even great saying that belts don't matter no more. Of course they don't matter when they give it to you. It's distilled. When they give it to you distilled, when it's like watered down, it doesn't matter. But when you're on top of every weight division, I mean, when you're on top of every in your weight division, it means something, right? That means you're the king.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Uh,
So I wanted to ask you, since now we have an official fight with the mandatory George Kambosos. When does camp start, man? We're excited to see him back in the gym and get back in the ring.
we're starting camp right away. You see some videos of him this week. We're gonna start taking it really serious on Monday. What makes me laugh is like this kid is talking shit now, and I just saw a video of him saying that my son, every time that he's training, he's not training, that he's just posting shit up, but he's not training. This guy's a fool, man. You know, every fight we take it serious, like we fighting a world champion. You know, this is our life. I mean, we've been doing this shit for 19 years. You think I'm gonna stop now? Every fight we take serious. From the first fight to now, we fight everybody like they're world champions all the time. So if they think we're sleeping, let them think that, you know, but it's okay. I'm just happy. And listen, the champ is happy. We having a great time together. And there's big things coming for boxing. Boxing is very alive right now because they got Teofimo Lopez around.
That's right. He's doing great things, man. And just 16 fights. It's crazy.
Oh, you haven't
Like,
seen nothing yet. You haven't
yeah.
seen nothing yet. And this fight with Lomachenko made him a way better fighter. Way better fighter. Because we fighting the top dudes. You don't get better by fighting guys that nobody knows. You're just gonna get worse.
Yeah, and we have a question from the chat. I think it's a pretty cool question. In the future, do you guys see a fight happening in Honduras for your son?
Of course, anything could happen. Anything could happen. But right now we're just gonna think about Thriller right now. Start getting inside the training camp. I got a lot of things to work with him, and a lot of things that I didn't like in the Lomachenko fight, and I could fix that easily. So I'm very very happy that at least somebody recognizes who he is and is giving his money's worth. I mean, this is historical, bro. Historical. Where do you think this is going? Where do you think this is going? As long as God gives us help, bro, we going all the way.
That's right.
We're gonna change boxing. We're gonna change boxing in a lot of ways because if people don't understand what we're doing, it's a big movement, man. We're helping a lot of these fighters that a lot of times are going into that ring and not coming out of there. And if they do come out, they don't even have enough money to pay their freaking hospital bills. So we're doing it for them. We're doing it for those people. We're changing the game. Fighters got to start getting what they're worth. I'm just tired of all this situation, and we're gonna bring that to the table, and we're doing it right now. We're doing it right now, and people are recognizing that these athletes deserve better, man. It's enough. Enough is enough. And I just pray to God that everybody is gonna be all right, and that everybody could get along. Going to war with people is not a good thing. It's never been a good thing to me. I learned that shit. I learned that shit since I was a little kid. But you start learning that shit like when you start getting older and consequences. So I'm very happy. I think we go into the right direction. I think that hopefully Bob is going to understand, you know, and their administration and their peoples and their promoters and every other promoter in the world, they're going to start giving more respect to the fighters because they do their service. You know, I fight for the fighters. I fight for my son, you know, and I give respect. And the only time I give respect to a fighter is after the fight. That's the only time, because I know you're in there to try to kill my son. So I can't be on your side, you know.
Yeah, until it's over.
So, you know, you want to hate me, but you're going in there to try to kill my son. I'm going to do everything in the power of my hands to make that not happen, you know, and that's why I am very careful with my training. And by the way, I do my physical training. I do everything with my son. I do his physical training and I do his boxing training. I don't need nobody. And you're going to see that in the next fight.
Yeah.
I don't need nobody. It's
So
only me and my son, nobody, you know, and then the people that do his nutrition, you know, but besides that, I do everything else. You know, I get him ready mentally, I get him ready physically, and I get him ready professionally in the boxing world. Bro, I am the best trainer that ever lived, bro, and I don't give a damn what anybody says. I see shit because God gave me that gift. I see shit other trainers cannot see. I see shit other trainers cannot see, and I bring entertainment to the fucking plate because I know what people want to see. People don't want to see combinations, touching combinations, touching combinations, the same shit back to back. Nah, you got to bring a fighter in there with a high IQ thinking. Oh, this guy did that move. Okay, he's going to do it again. I'm going to have something for him. That's the way you train your fighter, to think in that ring. You know, a lot of these trainers, they don't know that shit. You know, all they do is just train combinations, you know, and my method is different. And I was born for this shit, and so was my son. He was definitely him, you know, because he does everything. You know, I'm only there to help him out because he already got the gift, you know.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody sharper than him, bro. But I said this before we even fought Loma, that we was gonna be faster than him. We was gonna be smarter than him, you know. And everybody's, oh no, the only chance you got is to knock him out. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the relationship with Top Rank. Now, if that can't be you know, repaired from whatever happened, do you think that you guys will be signing with another promotional company, or will you do like the free agent thing, kind of like Canelo is doing right now?
We're family right now with Top Rank. I mean, we still got 3.5 years. That's what he said. So I just want these 3.5 years to better his company. Because to tell you the truth, I even told him, Bob, I'm gonna help you, bro. We're gonna build this company up again. You know, because I knew Manny was leaving, and I told him, yo, we're gonna get back to those numbers again. You know, I know he has Tyson Fury. He's the king right now. You know, he's the one making all the money for them. But I told Bob, listen, man, you give me the chance, everybody's gonna be happy. And I just hope that he listens to me, you know, and this shit works out. It's only one fucking fight. I mean, I don't know what the whole hassle's all about, you know. Jose Ramirez did it when he went and fought in the zone.
Hooker.
Yeah, but they didn't make a big deal out of it. Why are they making a big deal with my son? I don't understand, you know.
The hate's real, man. That's what it is, you know. But I want to ask you again.
I didn't even know about the Maurice Hooker fight with Ramirez, and I didn't know it was on a different platform. I didn't even know because I don't even watch this shit, you know. But I didn't know until they told me about it. So all right, so I mean, nobody even heard about any conflicts between them, you know, negotiating the deal with the zone. So why are they doing a big deal out of my son, you know, winning the bid? And I know where it's coming from. It's coming from, you know, them being wrong and we being right.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we both got to be right. You know, we're not doing this to, you know, to put you guys down. We're doing this because we want our money's worth. I mean, it's enough is enough. You know, we lost a lot of money. We lost like $2 million with Lomachenko. We tired of losing money, man. And if somebody else believes in us, why not go that different route? You know, if you have the best interest for us, you should be giving us more than anybody else because we're family. Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not happening right now.
They shouldn't be.
That's not happening.
They shouldn't be finishing in third place. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially with all the threats and everything, but I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everything, you know. Everybody knows what happened, and it's a good thing. I'm just so happy. You know, every time I talk to you guys, it's all from the heart. Everything I say is real. You know, I don't hate nobody. I just know we could beat everybody, and you know, and that's how it is. It's competition, baby. You know, I'm never gonna say somebody could beat my son because I know that's impossible. You know, and the best thing about everything that nobody knows, he does better with bigger guys.
Yeah.
That's the word. That's the best thing about it. I mean, he's struggling at this weight right now. You know, like not really struggling, but what I'm trying to tell you is like he does better when he's relaxed and he doesn't have to struggle to make the weight. We've been at 135 for 7-8 years. I mean, that's now no secret. You know, it's time to move. It's time to move up. You know, and everybody else got to follow. We don't got to go backwards. You know, why we got to go backwards for? You know, it's stupid. I mean, I think there's great fights to be done. You know, we want to fight all those guys, but the time will come. You know, just like Floyd did it. Floyd did it at his pace. You know, like my son said, he was pretty boy before he became, you know, Floyd. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is. You gotta get
money.
You gotta get your perfectly. You gotta pay the price to get the rewards. All these people want rewards without paying the price. You know, they want the easy way out. You know, so that's not gonna happen, and my son is not gonna let that happen either. We gotta put this boxing game. We gotta fight for realness. You know, okay, you did this. Okay, now we can fight you. Let's go. You know, you saw Canelo. He brought himself all the way up. He fought everybody. Everybody wanted him to fight, and that's why he got that position. He's the best fighter in the world right now. You know, so you got to give props where his props is done. You know, and we ain't gonna give no props to nobody that's done shit. You know, especially a person that hasn't fought top 10.
Exactly. And there's quite a few guys that are doing a lot of barking in your division that haven't fought anybody in the top 10 while you're getting ready to fight your fourth in a row, 2 champions. One guy was one of the best pound for pound. So these guys got to get to work, man, for sure. But, you know, I know it's getting late for
I don't take nothing away from Lambosa. He just fought a world champion and he beat him. You know, show me something. And plus, it's a mandatory. It's not like we can't say no to him. We already offer him some money on the other. And look, like we're giving this guy $2 million.
Yeah.
He would have never made that shit in his whole fucking career.
That's facts, man. But I know it's getting late for my co-host, man. He's all the way in the East Coast right now.
But I tell you something. This segment right here with me was the best segment you had right now.
Yes.
From the 2 hours you had right now. Because you know what? Teofimo Lopez always talks the real shit. He don't lie.
We love having you on, man. We love having you on.
And you're gonna see us. And you're gonna see us live real soon with Snoop Doggy Dogg, baby. Yo, I'm gonna love that one.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be Snoop, bro. I can't wait to hang out with Snoop, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they told me I gotta be careful with that weed he smokes. That shit is dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping you make it back out to New York City, man, because it's been a while since I've been to see you guys live at the Garden. Last time was against Comey.
Bro, that's our freaking house right there.
No, man.
We love Madison Square Garden. They love us. 6 fights, 6 knockouts.
You remember the Bastien fight, obviously, the Bastien fight? I was there for that one. I was there for the...
Oh, my God, Bastien. Right? Wow.
Yeah, man. I was there for Victor Jones.
Tough guy.
Yep. Yeah, man. So we got to have you back here in the Big Apple, bro.
I love you all. I love all of you guys, man. Mad love and respect to Top Rank and ESPN. That's our platform. We love them. We will always be with them. You know what I'm saying? I hope this shit gets strained out. And it's all about love. You know what I'm saying? But when I gotta look out for my son, I gotta look out for my son. You know, and they gotta wake up. And they gotta wake up, and they gotta respect them, bro. They gotta respect the champ. You know, we just beat the best fighter they had. You know, give us what we want, man, and everybody's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, you're his father still.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think this whole thing is just gonna smother off, and everybody's gonna be happy. The kid is gonna make a lot of money for the industry, boxing, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. You know what I'm saying? Because we are fighting the real fighters. I don't hear nobody saying we want to fight Jose Ramirez. I don't hear nobody saying I want to fight Josh Taylor. We're the only ones at 135 saying that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
facts, man.
And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because the people is gonna want it. You know what I'm saying? So don't believe anything that anybody's saying that, oh, they're gonna take that fight away from us and threatening us like that. You know, that's not gonna happen. You know, I think that the people want to see that fight, and it's the biggest fight to be made. Whoever takes that title is gonna take the two undisputed back to back, 135, 140. You know, even if they can't take the 135, but it's gonna seem like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't, bro. Listen, we're doing big things. You know, nobody has done what this kid is doing at only 16 fights at 23 years old. That's enough said. I don't gotta say nothing else. Teofimo Lopez is the real deal. The takeover is real. I told everybody. Yeah. Love you guys.
That's right, man.
Out, man.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate you, man. Always a great time with Teofimo Sr., man. That guy is something else.
we told you guys we had a surprise. I mean,
yeah.
But it's getting late, man, but it was worth it.
And a milk cart, man. I appreciate you, man. I know it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning over there for you, man.
12:53 on a school night, man. But it was worth it.
Yeah, man. So again, I want you guys to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, because we go live every Wednesday here. And subscribe to Maestro A, D-Style Boxing, Raw Boxing TV, everybody, man. I want to thank you guys, but we're going to wrap it up because it's getting late for my co-host. So for D-Style Boxing and Maestro A, this is G Funky Boxing. We want to thank Teofimo Sr. for coming on as well. He told everybody. And we're out, guys. See you on the next one.